Oh god, I was being funny and I didn't even turn my microphone on. You guys couldn't hear it. No, there was just sirens outside the house. I was like, oh man, this is the earliest I've ever been swatted. But it was a bad joke anyway. Look, it wouldn't be a Dadvocate stream without me picking up something audio-wise, alright? It's my Lotsie. It's called being consistent, okay? I'm just trying not to disappoint you guys. I know what you've come to expect. Day 20 of being Slavic, and I had to use Plankton's lawnmower to shave my feet. Wait, is there a stereotype that Slavs have small feet? Or does Plankton have a comically large lawnmower that I don't know about? I might be overthinking this Slav joke, but I want to get to the bottom of it. I feel like if I search Plankton lawnmower, I'm going to get the weirdest Rule 34 of my life. There isn't much info about Plankton lawnmowers. Imagine that. Me trying desperately to understand a cheer. Hold on. I've got something. Let me pull up the information that I've found. I was able to find this. So it is as small as I imagined that Plankton from SpongeBob's lawnmower might be. But I don't understand its relation to being Slavic, unfortunately. All right, listen. Do you guys have your coffee, your tea, your popcorn, your snacks? Because it's 11 a.m., which is the time that I, Lauren, welcome you guys back, or welcome you for the first time to another Dadvocate stream, a place that you don't have to worry about it being heavily visually reliant. If you want to just pop your earbuds in, get to work, get some choring done, I will do my best to visually describe anything that we might be looking at or observing today. Okay, we try to keep it pretty chill here, right? And we tend to talk about things like relationships, parenting, dating, etc. The basics, the day in the life, you know? Girthy follows up the Slav joke with, the joke was more focused on shaving the hair on someone's feet than Plankton. I guess, like, you were trying to be specific that a regular lawnmower wouldn't work on feet. I see what you're saying. Basically, you're gonna need some heavy machinery because Slavic feet are so hairy. Okay, I'm picking up what you're laying down. Man, this Tuesday is really Monday-in, you know what I mean? But yeah, come on in. I've got a special treat for you. Last week, we did a kind of Where Are They Now episode on some folks that I've covered in the past, specifically partner shamers, the people who secretly record and post their loved ones to the entire world to laugh at and roast and drag them, only to expect a perfectly normal, happy relationship afterward. And while we got a lot covered during that live stream, I saw so many comments from you guys saying, what about Blue Toilet Water Lady? And I was like, oh shit, you're absolutely right. I did not at all even think about Blue Toilet Water Lady. And the reason is because I never made a short about it, right? And this is how the majority of my partner shaming series has been collected, is through the playlist of these 1 to 3 minute videos that I usually do on like TikTok, Instagram, all that. I never made a short on it. I only covered it in a live, you know? So I forgot it when I was reviewing my playlist and being like, let's see where everyone is. However, I wasn't going to leave you guys hanging, okay? I wasn't going to leave you dismally begging the gods for an update. I'm here to do all the research so that you don't have to. But first of all, for those of you who are like, Lauren, what the are you talking about? What is Blue Toilet Water Lady? I will catch you all up to speed. So let's do a really quick little recap, okay? We are going to let one of my favorite YouTubers, Marky, take this one away. He had the original coverage of it that I used because this video was quickly scrubbed from the internet, and the cringe and embarrassment of it all, you'll quickly see why, basically. We're not going to watch Marky's full video. I'll kind of skip around. No offense to Marky, but truly, if you guys are not following Callum Marky, do it. He's a great commentator, covers a lot of stuff. I just like his channel. He's a good dude. All right, without further ado, let us get into our recap of what the blue toilet water lady situation is.
Bro.
My husband and I have been married for 17 years. We got to the biggest fight we've ever gotten in.
For those just watching at home or at least listening at home, it says, "Am I being dramatic?" over the screen too.
Situation. But enough of being vague. Let's actually watch the original video that caused this big uproar.
My husband and I have been married for 17 years. We got to the biggest fight we've ever gotten into, ever.
Okay, right, interesting start. So her and her husband have been together for 17 years and they just got into the biggest argument ever.
Over our toilet water. You tell me if I'm overreacting, because I really don't think I am.
Don't you worry. If there's one thing we will do on the Marky channel, is we will tell you when you're overreacting.
Every single time I go out of town, my husband's incredible. Like, I travel a lot for work. I come home. He's so great about cleaning the house, doing the laundry.
Okay.
You know, keeping up with the kitchen. The house is always immaculate when I come home. Somehow this man got it into his head that, you know what would be really cool is if you put one of those giant blue hockey discs in the back of your toilet water so that every time you flush, the toilet comes out blue. The toilet water comes out blue. Like we live at a 7-Eleven or something.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
The 7-Eleven comment took me out. Like, the only fathomable reason, I feel like I struggled with that word last time, but the only fathomable reason that she can even conceptualize that water should ever be blue is when it is a 7-Eleven Slurpee, and for any other reason, illegal. Like, she thinks that if he cleans the water with these blue cleaning discs, that people will come over and think that they just pour Slurpees in their toilet, right? And if there's one thing that my father made sure to teach me, it's that you never, under any conditions, let your neighbors think that you are the Slurpee toilet lady, okay? Because nobody wants to think that you're wasting perfectly good Slurpees. No, this logic is actually insane, but she goes on.
Please explain.
I go to the bathroom and I'm like, why is the water blue? And he's like, oh, I bought these things to put in the back of the toilet. I was like, what were you doing at the store? Looking at the aisle of all the things for cleaning items for the house where you thought that would be a good idea.
What? What?
I love it when people just, like, answer their own fucking questions. You know what I mean? Like, she literally says out loud, and given multiple opportunities to, like, not upload this, like, during the whole editing process, she could have, like, listened to this and at any point listened to the words coming out of her mouth. She says, "What were you thinking? Standing there in the cleaning aisle, looking at things designed to clean your home when you bought this cleaning instrument? What were you planning on doing with it? Obviously, your only thought while looking at this wall of cleaning supplies was to torture me. It's because you hate me. This is you trying to create as many narcissistic microaggressions as you can to put a stranglehold of patriarchal oppression over my throat. Okay?"
She's so angry, I don't get it. Can you imagine in any other situation where you go up to your partner and she's so angry? I mean, she goes on for a while here.
Like, you're making such a big deal. You're being so dramatic. I'm like, I am not being dramatic.
Yes, you are. He is so right. He is so beyond right in this.
So for a month.
What?
A month. I'm flushing the toilet and it's still blue.
Can you just imagine her every single day fucking flushing the toilet constantly? Every second she's like, why is it still blue?
And I'm complaining about it every day. I'm like, I literally, Nick, I can't live like this anymore. I cannot live.
I mean, how do you think he feels at this point? Every single day he has to put up with you complaining about the fact that he's cleaning the toilet. Like, that's not something people are usually annoyed about.
So literally, like, we're laying in bed the other night and I just go on TikTok, like, how do I empty the back of my toilet tank so I can
oh my God.
so that I can get rid of this blue water. I literally, like, put in the search bar, how do I empty the back of a toilet tank? He gets up in a fury, like, oh my God, you're making such a big deal about this. When did you get so highfalutin? Blah, 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 blah.
I love how she's putting on, like, the angry voice, you know, the...
I know Marky's commentary on this is so accurate, though.
Changed so much. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Changed so much. Like, we live in a pretty nice neighborhood. Like, it's 2024. Like, what are you doing? Where you think this was a good idea?
You're starting to see the insanity of this, right? Like, I'm sure by now you guys are familiar with these, like, blue toilet discs. Hold on one second. My nose was a little runny, but I'm not gonna use a tissue on camera. Anyway, I'm sure you guys are familiar with these blue toilet cleaning discs, and I've never in my life ever heard of people consider using these as like a sign of degeneracy or poverty or like low class or low value. Like, I truly do not know where this is coming from either. And I think a lot of us can relate to the husband's frustration here as she describes an entire month going on that they are fighting about this every single day. 31 days and 31 nights, maybe 30, of blue toilet watergate in this home. And it's almost unbelievable that there was like no warning signs, allegedly, prior to this. This is where I would love to interview the husband. I want to be like, listen, she says this is the first argument in 17 years. Is that true? Do you confirm this to be fact? Gus, so good to see you. I saw ZOMG WTF. I might have gotten that wrong earlier, but I saw you in here too. Can't stick around today, hanging with the cousins. Absolutely understandable. Family time comes first. You can always circle back to this. We live in 2024. How dare you use a fairly common cleaning tablet to reduce our need to scrub toilets? Wait, and that's the thing. Answer me if I'm wrong too, but is it true that you actually have to like use the wand less when you use those? I've never used the full disc. I'm more of like a squirt the blue juice right in and then wand it, which I feel like it's so funny. That would be a perfect middle ground for these two, wouldn't it? Is just that instead. But if it's true that whatever is in there also breaks down the schmears, so to say, might be worth investing. I feel like this whole thing was just like secretly a way to sell these blue discs, quite frankly. Blue isn't the only option. I didn't know that. Is there a red option? Talk about completely terrifying your house guests. Now that I would understand if a spouse getting a little upsetty spaghetti about if every time you went to use the toilet, it looked like either an outpouring of blood, just potent signs of kidney disease right in front of you. Oh, Gyarados, I'm not reading that out loud, but thank you for the cheer. This is one of those times, non-visual people, that you'll just have to wonder. We've seen a lot of partner shaming, and we've seen a lot of divorces happen afterward. I will say that was one of the funnier parts of that partner shaming series, was how many was like, and they're single now. It's only been a year, but, well. So, she's freaking out about this. I believe he has the follow-up videos as well, though. So valuable stuff here to bring us to where we've gotten today.
Would dare be one of them.
So that night, he emptied the toilet bowl somehow. I still don't know how to do it.
God, and that's another thing too. This is another layer, is I can't stress enough how many layers of frustration are happening here. So first of all, there's her just absolutely judging the shit out of his decision making. She's like, what were you thinking? Like patronizing him, putting him down. That's already annoying because you're like, wow, you're talking to me like I'm stupid for doing something that's not stupid, that like plenty of people do. And you can't give me a reason that it's stupid other than it looks like a Slurpee. Like in 30 days, you haven't come up with a better argument. And you're having to hear this, but it looks like a Slurpee argument every fucking day for 31 days. And you've got to wonder, like, what was the intimacy life like during this time? Like, do you think that they're having, like, the best sex of their life? Like, absolutely the hell not. Not during Blue Toilet Watergate, right? Then the next layer is that she starts getting so annoyingly passive-aggressive about it, and I bet it went even deeper than she's even describing. Because mind you, we only have her side of the story. Her husband is not getting on here and gabbing to TikTok about the way it really went and his truth, some might say. But even she's admitting herself, even in her own tattletaling, she admits that she has been passive-aggressive to all hell. And it's like on day 31, you're opening up TikTok to start searching how to get rid of the toilet water. You did that as an aggression. You did that on purpose. You waited until you were laying in bed together to search that instead of any other time during the day without him being right next to you. You did that on purpose. And then you're like, why is he so angry? Okay.
And it's great.
Yeah, he sounds great. He actually decided to
So he gets rid of the
change
disc.
the toilet water colour because you were so pissed off about it. He was like, right, fair enough, right, we'll just do it. That is a very thoughtful man right there, that he even pretended to buy into this craziness.
It's also like, I've said this before, I'll say it again, but for better or for worse, and a lot of times I'm gonna hold your hand, men, when I say this. I really think it's more often for worse. Men just concede arguments more often than women. Like, I feel like so often, and my husband has done this. I'm almost like, nobody tell TJ I said this. Everyone rushing to TJ's DMs to say that I said this. But like, there have absolutely been times that like I was wrong in the argument, but TJ just like let me win because he just wanted to be done with it. You know what I mean? And I like watched my dad do that the whole time growing up. And I've seen so many men who are just like, I personally choose peace. So you want to tell me that the blue Slurpee toilet water is going to irreparably damage our bougie reputation in this nice neighborhood? Sure. Thanks for all the videos and helping men realize we aren't alone. Aw, thank you, bits of zombies. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely guilty of that. Gamer Daddy, I knew you would be. Everything I know about you tells me that you're the kind of guy who's like, you're right. The sky has never been blue once in all of Earth's history. You're always right, honey. Like, you're that kind of guy. And the thing is, I'm jealous, honestly. Like, that's one of the things that gives me, like, penis envy, to be honest, is, like, the just ability to, like, let shit go. I really envy men for that. I also envy man eyes. The ability to, like, walk into a room with clutter and be fine. Can I buy that? Do they sell that on Amazon? But these attributes... This this kind of water rolling off the duck's back is not encapsulated here, let me just say.
It looks good now in the main bathroom, but not in the master.
Oh no, the blue water. Oh, and it comes back blue.
Dude, she can't let it go. Oh my god. He's literally like, fine, fine. Your argument for the last 31 days and your only argument against my stack of good reasons to use this and my list of references from Lowe's and Home Depot, across the aisle even, okay? Your one reason has been you don't want the neighbors to think badly of us, right? So in the restroom that they use, it's not going to be blue. But then she's still freaking out that it's blue upstairs. Now you have to explain why you're mad about it. Before it was, we live in a nice neighborhood. Okay, I would say I do too, or at least we're like on the cusp, okay, of a really nice neighborhood. I cannot think of like the richest people I know, the most like wealthy silver spoon fed people. I cannot imagine any of them giving a shit about blue toilet water. But then the other reason was it's 2024, which like I don't know what that means. This is like, honestly, it just reminds me of baby mama logic. You know what baby mama logic is. Baby mama logic is, oh, listen, you can't pick up your son this weekend because the grass is green. Sorry. Whoops. That's what it feels like.
Bloody evacuate the household, and it's not safe to live there. So as you can imagine, all the comments on this video and all the response videos are just people basically saying the same thing.
Update. Beautiful.
What the fuck are you... So we have an archive of it.
Hi, it's Blue Toilet Water Girl coming at you. Nick and I have had a wonderful, wonderful marriage.
Okay, this is what we like to call in the partner shaming series the just kidding we're fine video. It's truly formulaic at this point. Secretly record and shame partner for whatever behavior that you have deemed bad. Oftentimes, it is bad, to be honest. That's the crazy thing, is a lot of times in the partner shaming videos, to be honest, they did goof, they did fuck up, but my criticism is that you should have handled it privately, because it's only going to make things 10 times worse when you take it to the court of public opinion, right? But they want to shame, they want to drag the partner for the validation of it all, right? I'll read that in just a sec. But then there's usually the consequence, right? Either it gets a little too out of hand, or the partner finds out and they get mad, and then they make what we call the just kidding we're fine video, which is where they go, oh my god, guys, chill, like slow down, we're fine, we are laughing at this, we found this funny, and I'm sorry that you guys don't know what love is and that you don't have a sense of humor like we do. He's not here right now, but trust me, he has been dying. He thinks I'm the funniest person and he loves me so much, and like, you guys seriously like need to calm down, because you guys are being so mean in the comments, like, and then they just basically blame us for reacting harshly, which is what they intended for us to do when they made the whole video. In this situation though, the guy literally did nothing wrong, and that, I think that's what makes this one so frustrating. Okay, let me read that super chat too, actually, before we continue. Bilson, I don't know if you're a guest in my home and are going to judge me because I use blue toilet bowl cleaner. I don't need you in my life. I kind of feel that way about almost anything. Like, I really do care about keeping my house looking nice. Just ask my husband and kids. They'll tell you. You know, I'm not like an obsessive clean freak, but shared spaces should look nice. It does matter to me. However, I have had, to my knowledge, that I've discovered, one person who came over and had something to say about my house not being clean enough. And very simple solution. I just don't invite them over anymore. It's like it's not gonna hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? Like, if I would like to think that if I did have a hoarding problem, I would be open-minded to it. I will happily take y'all on a tour. It ain't like that. You know what I mean? It's like, if I am messy and you call me out on it, that's one thing. But if we're gonna be like picking apart the most type A bullshit, yeah, let's just meet in a public place at that point. It's just not worth it. My house, my home is my sacred castle. Okay? And no, I'm not just having folks in here all willy-nilly. Cameron says this whole toilet water thing seems to be just an example of a broader phenomenon of assuming whatever they don't understand must be wrong. People fear what they don't understand. She fears the blue toilet water. That's the most frustrating. That's another layer, though. That's another layer of the frustration, is that in an entire month, not only do you just immediately thrust doubt on my decision making as your spouse, not only do you fight me on it over and over again, but you refuse to even try to be open-minded. You refuse to do a simple Google search just to see if there might be some information that you don't know. You know, that being unwilling to even consider the alternate viewpoint is what's really, like, frustrating. Okay, yeah, the baseboards do get neglected in my house, though, Gamer Daddy. I will say that. I hate doing the baseboard.
We call ourselves Team Laos. Killing it since 2006. Truly my best friend.
Yeah, so basically this is kind of the route you go.
My best friend. Oh my god, he is my bestie. Like, that's fine. We get that. Do you understand that you kind of had a little temper tantrum? Do you understand that you had a little bit of a melty bee over some damn toilet water? Surely we'll get to some accountability by the end of this. I need a little cricket sound that I can just push the button and it plays it.
But we'll watch on anyways.
We've done big moves across the country. He supported me to quit my full-time job to start my own business, and that went amazing.
I mean, it's
the over-explaining. It's whenever people just start putting in way too many details, I'm like, okay, something's going on here.
risk. Sounds like a great guy, which is very confusing why this situation happened.
In turn, I did that for him. I supported him when he wanted to quit his job and start his own business. We've traveled to 22 countries together.
Okay, so you get the point, right? She's really...
Like, is she, like, interviewing for our forgiveness? What is she trying to sell us on here?
Going into details to show how good the marriage is. Fair enough.
And you know, I actually... If this video were to have turned into, like, a... What I'm trying to say is, we all get one. We get one. We've been together for over 10 years. I think she said 17, actually. Practically 2 decades. And in all that time, I have never once freaked out about something fucking stupid. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know what? I'll give myself one. I think that we could all accept that. You know? I think that we could all get behind that. But is that what happened?
It doesn't really answer what people were saying about the video.
It's like some of y'all have never been married before and never had fights with your spouses.
Smash my face into the keyboard. Oh my god. I hate when they... Sorry, I gotta make sure I didn't spread lipstick everywhere by headbanging. But like, yep, this is the classic. What did I tell you they always say? What do they always say? Sorry, you guys just don't understand marriage. And it's like, the reason that I hate this so much, by the way, is because these people, I don't know if they have kids, but they probably have kids. And if they don't have kids, they're still influencing a significant amount of people at this point. Like, you know that you've gone viral. And you're trying to sell people on this concept that toxicity, whatever your toxic behavior is or was, is just marriage. How many of your parents used to say that shit, especially after like screaming, shouting matches, or even like, God forbid, like laying hands on each other, and they were like, it's just, you know, in marriages these things happen. And it's like, I just hate that. I don't think it's acceptable. Like, I agree that you're not going to be able to sustain a long-term relationship and never argue and never fight and never break each other's hearts and never hurt each other's feelings. Like, of course those things will happen. Bob Marley once famously said, it's everyone's going to break your heart. It's about choosing who's worth having your heart broken for, right? Who's worth that. So I totally get that. But to just sweep it all under the rug as like, that's just marriage, baby, like, no, because that's not what we're going to be normalizing here.
It's like, it's been hilarious to us.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, there's definitely going to be a lot of people.
What did I say? We've been laughing about this. We find it funny. Show his face. I want to hear him say it. There's no way. I'm sorry, but like, girl, be so for real. Like, you clearly do not have the used car salesman genes, because you literally just told us that you guys have been fighting about this for 30 days straight, and that by the end of it, he flew up in a fury over it. But now you're saying that he's just like hee ha ha, buckled over laughing, like having an old rib over this. Like, no, I declare false.
So like semi-sad to see how low the bar is for some people. At least he doesn't cheat on you. Is that your bar? Is your bar at least he doesn't cheat on you? Whatever. I'm not talking about that.
Oh, okay.
And then just an abrupt like change of direction there. This is where it's this is a bit of a weird Just Kidding We're Fine video, because typically the Just Kidding We're Fine video, that's its main purpose, is to end it, to be like, I wasn't being mean to my husband, you guys are all being mean to my poor husband, and then like cue that meme of Kevin Hart being held like a baby, you know what I mean? But it's like, in this one, she goes from, we are amazing for each other, we're each other's best friends, we do so much, we do everything for each other, truly is an equal, loving partnership, right back to, but he did fuck up, okay, guys? Like, let's not let that go. Like, I'm not going to just sweep under the rug that, like, this isn't as bad as it could be. It was bad, okay? Blue toilet water, like, again, I don't want to continue dragging him for what he still obviously did wrong, but, like, you have to understand that our relationship goes so much deeper than his massive blue water flaw. Like, she still is doubling down that she was in the right about blue toilet water.
Okay, so she was annoyed because people said, like, at least he doesn't cheat on you, and she's like, oh, is this your
This whole experience has made me realize you get a glimpse. You get a tiny, tiny bit of someone's story, and you don't know our full story.
And that's why you need to be careful about what you put out there. That's the whole point. It's like these partner shamers always come so close to the point. They're like, here. The point chases them, but they're faster every time, because it's like most of them eventually come to the same conclusion, because this is a huge part of every Just Kidding We're Fine video, is the whole, guys, you can't make such a huge judgment on a 6-second clip that you saw on the internet. You can't just judge our whole lives over it. It's like you're so close to getting it, but they want to use that as a deflection. They want to be like, you guys misunderstand. It's you guys blowing this up into this whole big thing. Not, I was given only 60 seconds to give people a huge look at what my marriage is like, and I spent all 60 of those seconds freaking out about my husband's decision and using language that essentially makes him sound incompetent. And you want to be mad that a lot of people took that video and either concluded her husband is incompetent, which this time I think was actually the minority, or concluded that you wanted to make your husband look incompetent. And very rarely, if ever, do these partner shamers step back and go, maybe it wasn't my intention to make him look this bad, but I can see why people would think I did. They can't even do that. They can't even come that close. You know, they're like, here's the point, and then there's the arm's length. Don't touch me with that, please.
And you assume I'm a monster and that he needs to leave me and I'm entitled and I'm awful.
Okay, right, let's be honest here, right? Anyone leaving comments like that is bang out of order, right? It's not that deep, clearly. But I just feel like from everything I've seen, I just didn't see what is the problem here.
But also, the saddest part of this whole thing is that I did not know I had a big forehead. Like, the comments...
Oh, okay, so people were commenting it. Yeah, I mean, that's horrible, obviously. Don't be fucking...
But that's another classic Lotsie in the whole just kidding, we're fine video is another common tool in the tool belt is they start self-victimizing by being like, and also, I'm relieved of any responsibility or having done anything wrong here because some of you were mean to me. And that makes me the victim here. Every time. ZOMG, BBQ, FTW says, and thank you so much. Start early, we'll finish later. Sent a mail with wholesome/fun stuff. Thank you for cleansing the palette after the stream. If there's time, there should be. Sound balance and mastering is good, but volume is a bit on the low side. Let me turn up my mic a little bit. Y'all let me know if that's a little bit better. Tell Tripod we said hi. He's at work, but I will. I definitely will. I stand relieved. More toilet humor. I should have been doing more toilet puns this whole time. What am I doing? And for everybody coming and going and in and out, it's a revolving door around here. I know there was one person who emailed me. I think that might have been Ben, maybe. Said that they usually they found like the perfect timing of what speed they have to put me at to catch up by the time they're able to start watching. Adorable. All right.
Fucking writing comments about people's physical appearance. It's bang out of order, clearly. But like I said earlier, that video also got deleted, and I think the only video that is currently live that I can see right now is this one. This is the last video that's uploaded.
I was wrong.
So she's responding to a comment that says, okay, now admit to him on camera that you were wrong about the blue water and you acted spoiled. Women are lined up for him. So, like, yeah, again, it always does annoy me that when people are right to criticize a behavior, an action, a belief, but they do it in, like, these shitty, snarky, attacky ways. Like, you guys know I'm all against, like, attacking people's physical appearance. I also hate picking apart people's grammar or spelling. I don't think that's a good argument for whatever it is you're actually debating, unless the debate is like, I'm a better speller than you, right? But that's another thing that I don't like about this approach is you had me in the first half, not gonna lie. Like, yeah, like, please admit that you were wrong. I think that's fair and valid. But to be like, threatening her with like potential infidelity or divorce is also like so unnecessary. No, they're not gonna get a divorce over the blue toilet water, guys. Nor would I recommend anybody get a divorce over that. And like that, yes, the entitledness, the brattiness, the refusal to admit that they're wrong, those qualities over time can definitely accumulate in this. But like, yeah, if you're ever arguing with a person on the internet, don't take this approach. It's slimy. But it did get her to respond, and she said, I was wrong, followed by...
I've been humbled. I did apologize to him when he came home yesterday, and he was like, Jen, that was forever ago. Who cares? I was like, no. I was dramatic. I just want to tell you I'm sorry. That was a little too much this time. We're fine. On to the next fight. Just kidding. He's the best.
Oh, and then we get like a little face grab. So this one, I will say, it might have been worthwhile to have been visually looking at the facial reactions. I don't often go body language analyst mode on you guys, but there was something about this admission of guilt. And I don't want to hyper criticize too much because she did it. She did the thing. She apologized. I'm very proud of her. But she does this like lip purse at the beginning that is very much like
this. The last video was uploaded.
I was wrong.
Like this. If a man did this kind of silly, coy, like, I was wrong. It's hard to describe, but it's up there with the other female manipulator tool that I call the giggle, where a girl will be mean or cruel or nasty or even just like just toxic, but then she'll be like like, and she'll just like giggle, and it's to kind of disarm you, you know, and it works societally. It's taught to us from a very young age, quite frankly, as a get out of jail free card. And this, the little like I guess teehee, I mean, can you really be mad at me? Like, it's, I'm gonna call that out. I'm gonna call that out as a little like, and I get it, apologies are hard. Sometimes it might feel better to deliver the apology in like I'm sorry, but typically like when a man is expected to apologize, if he was to be like our babe, I'm sorry. I know, like seriously, like I'm sorry, like a lot of people would get annoyed by that, you know, because they want something a little bit more serious. And then I also have to call out the fact that she has to really sell us on the fact that, like, he didn't care. He wasn't even worried about my apology. But, like, I had to sell him on it. Like, that's how good of a person I am, you know? And then the apology is also, like, when a person apologizes, it's important that they're very declarative in what it is they're apologizing for. I hate when someone simply says, I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. Like, what does that do? You're just saying something. You might as well have just sneezed. That's just a sound. Like, not to, like, be the sorry police, but, like, what are you sorry for? What are you seeing more clearly that I can be more confident that this won't happen again? That's ideally what an apology should be, is an acknowledgement, a full acknowledgement, so that the other person can have some reassurance that you really do see the issue. That if they can see that you understand the issue, it's an immediate, at least a little bit more of a reassurance that you will work to prevent it in the future if you at least understand it. But her apology here is, I'm sorry I was a little dramatic. That's not it, though. That wasn't the problem. It wasn't necessarily just the drama of it all. It was also the patronizing, the infantilizing, the public spectacle, the inviting strangers into the debate, the egging the whole thing on. Again, I don't want to be a sorry police, and I am proud of her because not a lot of Just Kidding, We're Fine videos have even the remotest amount of an apology. But I really don't know if we can count that as accountability. What do you guys think? Are you satisfied with the outcome? Is that good enough? What do you guys think? Do you let us make a gavel decision using the Dadvocate's hammer of justice, okay? Are you guys, yes or no, satisfied with Blue Toilet Water Lady's apology? And there's more. There's more. There's more to the story. I deem the apology unsatisfactory, says SVR. Indifferent, says Aaron. The sarcasm was dripping. I wouldn't so much call it sarcasm. It didn't feel like a sarcastic apology, but there was elements of facetiousness, notes of not taking it seriously, perhaps. I don't believe that she even apologized or that he even knows any of this. That's a theory. Oh yeah, that was one thing that was in the last video that I didn't necessarily show you, but she just kind of like pans out to show him really a nothing burger. So let's get into where are we now? Because I was able to fetch us a little bit of an update. So first I found this. This was posted just back in July, actually.
There is one.
Sorry. I'm gonna be super finicky. I'm so sorry. Okay.
There is one thing pissing me off these days. What is up with people who cannot form their own opinions, so they have to go to comments and then be told what to think on things? No one can form their own freaking opinions now. They literally have to be told what to think, and then they become like full of rage or whatever, depending on what one person says about it. And it's just so obnoxious. It happened to me personally with blue toilet water. It wasn't an issue until one giant creator.
Shout out Emily King! Let's go! if you guys are not following Emily King, by the way, I found her maybe like 6 months to a year into my TikTok journey because people just like kept like tagging us in each other's videos. Like people knew that we had similar thoughts. And once I started watching a few of her videos, I was like, oh my God, we are so alike in so many ways. And we have definitely become friends since then. Go follow Emily W. King everywhere. She's on everything now. She is like amazing at cross-platforming. She has built up so much and she does all of this stuff. She has such amazing coverage on predominantly men's issues, but same with me, like relationships, dating, parenting, all that stuff. She just had a baby and she looks fucking amazing. She is an awesome co-parent with her ex who cheated on her. Like, I'm sorry to rub it in, but like to be such a good 50-50 co-parent to the man who straight up like cheated on you, like that's how you know this woman just has such a heart of gold and is truly like just always thinking about other people. So I also like get my hackles raised anytime anybody ever comes for Emily. I am like the first to like, who said shit about Emily? I'm coming for your ass, okay? People have called me, her, and Roma the Powerpuff Girls of men's issues. She's Bubbles. I'm Buttercup. No, Blossom, sorry. And then Roma would be Buttercup. But anyway, sorry, I was just catching up on a couple of the comments. But yeah, that's so funny. So apparently Emily's the only reason that any of us thought that that was bullshit. I know plenty of you who were already like, God, this lady's crazy, never even saw Emily's video. That Emily was not the first person I heard about it through. Like, yes, her video did blow up when she reacted to it, as many of her videos do. She's always coming out with banger after banger. But, like, that's so funny that she's blaming Emily for all this. Oh, Lady J, too. Yeah, I love Lady J. Lady J and I are also friends. Basically, every woman in this space that you can think of, I probably have on speed dial. We connect. Like, women in this world are like indigo children. We just like psychically and telepathically become entwined. And it's so funny too because they call us all like misogynist woman haters. And we literally call to check on each other all the time.
ditched it and gave a very strong negative opinion. Oh yeah, this is a terrible thing. And then
I also can't stress enough when talking about if Emily stitches you, how little you really have to worry about as far as like her being strongly worded. Like, if you're not familiar with Emily's content, she is very critical of things, but her criticism is always delivered in like, she never swears, she never cusses, she never like comes at your physical appearance or anything like that. They're always like a mom would criticize you, basically. The same way that your mother would be like, I'm really disappointed in you for doing this because of these reasons. Like, that's the way that Emily delivers it. So for her to be painting Emily as like me and Chloe Roma are way more aggressive than Emily. Roma's more aggressive than me for sure. Like, I aim to be as tame as Emily King, but I also kind of like my feisty side, so I don't really mind it. I'm like the middle ground between those two girls. But Emily is such a sweet piece of pumpkin pie, quite frankly. Like, to complain about Emily criticizing you is like, you're just mad you got caught at that point. Cameron says, we need a Dadvocate and Emily King collab. We really do need to throw it back, because, no wait, I should have said run it back. Me and Emily talk about two ladies you are never going to find videos of them throwing it back on the internet. But we did a TikTok live together way back in the day. It was so much fun. And I think we did another one with Sarah Dawn Moore. I was like, oh my god, what is she even going by now? SDM. Yeah. But we got to do another one. We really do. Anyway, so she's blaming Emily for all of this.
then everyone jumped on that train. You'll have one loud person make a huge thing and then everyone jumps on that bandwagon. I think when you have certain big figures that people really, really love that jump on one train, you're going to have everyone flocking to that person instead of thinking critically. I think this is an issue.
I think we thought pretty fucking critically about it, to be honest. I mean, like, it's not like Emily's comment section was the only place where this debate was happening. Like, her own video blew up, right? Clearly, I don't think I saw anybody reacting to this. I think there was one girl who simply made the argument that those blue discs might erode certain types of toilet. I don't know enough about that to fully tell you if that's right or wrong, but as far as her reaction to it, like, what more is there to critically analyze on her side of it? Like, what are we missing here? In fact, I'll even try damage of blue toilet cleaning discs. But that's the thing, she didn't even make this argument, so it doesn't even matter. While they may seem like the perfect way to clean and sanitize your toilet, the reality is that they are quite harmful to it. Those blue toilet tablets can cause corrosion to parts inside the tank and contain harmful chemicals that may be released into your home and the environment. Right. Okay. And again, if she would have made that argument, I think that none of us would even be here, quite frankly. I mean, you guys would be here. You would never miss a Dadvocate stream. But we just wouldn't talk about this crazy shit. So I found the full interview that little clip was from, and I haven't watched the full thing yet. I was saving that to do with you guys. I hope that you guys are excited and ready for this. So I found it here on the old YouTubes. And this podcast is the Chat with Charlie and Friends. Massive platform here with 117 subscribers. All right, look, we don't need to subscriber shame, but look, someone had her is the point. Someone was willing to entertain her on this episode where it reads, Jen Lyles responds to Blue Water TikTok. Blue Watergate. Hold on, I want to read some of these comments before I get right into this. Why do I feel like the husband has nothing of himself in the house? We've talked about that a lot on this channel too. The erasure of men when they share a house with a woman. You guys pretty much just get the basement, or or like the garage is like the only men's spaces. I will say I with any living situation, it's tough if like you and your spouse have radically different style choices. Fortunately, both TJ and I are loud and audacious, so we have a very loud and audacious house. Like, this room, the rest of the houses are just as colorful, or the houses. Our living room is teal, our kitchen is red. Just the way we roll, baby. Let's see what she has to say about herself. It's been, God, let me see. When did that Marky video come out? When was the blue toilet Watergate situation? It was 5 months ago, so not as far away as I thought it was, but it's been 5 months. She's had some time to reflect. She's allegedly apologized to her husband. Let's see where this goes. Can we get a house tour one of these days? I obviously can't like take you with me now, but when I do a mobile, I'll do a mobile live one of these days. I'll take you guys. By the way, if anybody makes music and wants a gig, I would love an intro song. And feel free to listen to my outro in my YouTube videos to like get an idea of the kind of like hip-hoppy vibe that I'm kind of going for. But I will hire someone to make me an intro song. Lauren@dadvocate.net. Email me. I'm hiring.
All right, guys, another edition of Chat with Charlie. And as always, I wish it was more always, actually.
I'm so sorry to always get tangential right away, but isn't it like crazy when you see these really high quality setups, like really professional equipment? Like, look at this guy's setup, is like so much more professional than mine, but like 117 subscribers. It's so crazy. I feel like so much stolen valor sometimes when I see these really like high production quality sets, and then like here's my dumbass with more viewers right now during my live stream than total subscribers to this channel, and I'm not even trying to like dunk on this guy. This is just the most backwards compliment I've given all year.
Actually, Jen. But we have Jen with us again on Chat with Charlie. A little bit of a special
Oh shit, the husband is on this one. Oh snap. Okay.
episode. We're gonna get in some TikTok from the lovers here. We're gonna kind of chop it up. But first, Jen, please introduce everybody to your spouse. I'm glad everybody's listening in.
Okay. I think we can safely confirm, though, whoever it was that said there is not a trace of this man, everything about this house is giving sad beige baby. It's definitely a sad beige baby house, for sure.
But we got to know who this cat is right beside you.
Yes, Nick is the backbone of our relationship and my work.
The backbone.
The backbone.
Man.
He is the better half. This is Nick. I met him when I was 19 years old, so we've been together.
Love at first sight.
Love at first sight.
Yeah.
Immediately.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah. So
Partner
we've
praising.
been married
We love to see
17
it.
years.
17 years. Who does that now?
I know, right?
I mean, she's been with me longer than she's been with her parents, which
Yeah.
is crazy to think.
Yeah.
That's
I'm assuming he means like living with them, which, okay, valid. Yeah, the average marriage is 7 years, so that is impressive.
so
Half
awesome.
my life has been with Nick.
Yeah.
So I got really lucky. I don't think a lot of people find love at a young age, but I did. Now, I was young. He was much, much older.
He was more mature, refined.
He was dating a teenager at 27. Like, that's disgusting. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to just think that she has like no fucking filter, which my mom has this problem, so I'm very familiar with it. Just steal video game music like everyone else does. You know what? There is sometimes it goes hard though. But like, this is so crazy to me. Could you imagine, like, you've just been welcomed onto a show. you know that this is being recorded to be put on however many social media platforms. We love you, Lauren, and your poverty setup. Oh, that took me out. Okay, no, like, this... She's so fucking delusional and has no filter, where she's like bringing her husband on to introduce him to the world. First impression. And she's like, yeah, he was kind of a pedophile, actually. Girl, so please, I'm begging you to slow down and not let the intrusive thoughts win. Like, don't get me wrong. I've, with the right friends, made the occasional joke, because TJ is 6 years older than me. Like, keep in mind, we did not meet when I was a teenager, of course. But it's like, I'll be like, you know, some say that he robbed the cradle, but I say I'm robbing the grave. Like, it's, with the right people, it's funny to make that kind of joke, but you literally just said, I was a teenager, he was much, much older, without giving a specific number, and then says that it was disgusting. Now look, I know I'm not the best at giving compliments. I literally just rated this guy's setup by, like, being like, you have no followers. But objectively, I think we can all agree that this is worse. This is a much worse compliment game.
Yeah, but believe it or
see,
not,
old school me would give him knuckles, and but I won't do that here.
but believe it,
Wait, what? Did this Charlie Parker guy just say that back in the day they would have given him knuckles for that? I need my RAPE whistle. I'm getting deeply uncomfortable vibes. I take back my compliment, Charlie Parker, because what the fuck? Like, that was already so awkward, and you just made it more awkward by being like, haha, yeah, as a good old boy, I endorse pedophilia. Like, can we all slow down? I can't breathe. I do not have enough pearls to clutch. Good Lord.
believe it or not, like for her age, she was really mature.
Yeah.
I just don't think she's grown out of that.
Not the, but it's okay because she was mature for her age. Guys, I think if no one's ever taught you to not fucking be like this, can I be the one? Can we not with this Harvey Weinstein ass behavior?
So she was very mature for 19, and she's kind of stayed the same the last 20 years.
Sure.
I believe that.
Okay, so you know what? I guess we're just coming in hot with the violence for this one. We are literally not even 2 minutes into this, and she's like, hi, I'm Jen, this is my pedophile husband, and he's like, yeah, but she's fucking childish, so, and this guy is like, I like kids, haha, like, what is it, this train wreck of a podcast? Oh my god, I'm truly blind reacting, and I'm so glad that we're all experiencing this trauma together. We're trauma bonded now, guys. This is deep.
That, and then again,
Parasocial.
you may have said this. Where did you guys meet at?
Kindergarten.
I worked at Cracker Barrel for
This is my
7 years. I was a
babysitter.
waitress
I
there.
love their
Nick-
apples.
Their fried apples are great.
Fried apples are awesome.
Nick was a Cracker Barrel server before I worked there. So someone set us up on a date because I didn't want to get married or have children. And someone who worked there was like, oh, I know a guy who also doesn't want to get married or have children. His name is Nick Lyles. So
Now that we get the bigger picture, fucking sad beige baby. Look at this house. Look, I'll even move myself so you can just see exactly what I mean here, man. Oof. Sad beige baby house. Okay. Anyway.
she introduced us and we got married.
So who needs to swipe left or right anymore? Just work at Cracker Barrel.
That's it. That's our love story. We have Cracker Barrel rocking chairs at our
spouse at work,
I do have 2 of those. I like them actually.
They're great.
Do you guys believe, what is it called? Like soulmates. Do you guys believe in that? Especially from the young age and then that love at first sight. Do you believe in that?
I do, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she tells me like if I die, she'll be fine.
Don't say things.
Oh no, we
Don't
will
say
say things
Nick,
like that.
you are gonna make us go viral in a bad way again. Just
Oh yeah, it's okay when I do it, but Nick, you need to calm down. What we don't need is you embarrassing me, okay?
don't do it.
Wait a minute. You like sound, but no, Jen has always told me she likes sound bites. So, my friend, thank you.
I'm a
Soundbite
person.
sales,
I'm
right?
a soundbite person. No, the fact is, I think you can choose to be. I think I could have chosen 15 other people and had different paths and just like chosen to stay faithful and be in love with them. But like, I think a lot of it is a choice, and I'm glad I married Nick. I'm glad I.
Can we get a recap on that facial expression real quick? Just, oh god, I hope I didn't go too far back.
This is a fairly good segue, but I want to ask one more question.
Oh god. I'm so sorry. That was just
Don't
brutal.
say things.
Oh no, we
Don't
will
say
say things
Nick,
like that.
you are gonna make.
Friend, thank you.
I'm a
Soundbite
person.
sales,
I'm a
right?
soundbite person. No, the fact is, I think you can choose to be.
Just
I
look at
think I
his
could have
face,
chosen
Douglas.
15 other people and had different paths and just like chosen to stay faithful and
Watch
be in
the
love with them. But
soul
like,
leave his
I think a
body.
lot of it is a choice, and I'm glad I married Nick. I'm glad I chose him.
Oh god. To be sitting there like, I believe in soulmates. I believe that Jen is my soulmate. And then she's just sitting there like, honestly, I could have seen myself doing this same exact thing with like 15 other guys. And he's just like, oh, watch people die inside edition.
But I don't believe in soulmates.
Wow.
Well, this is a fairly good this is a fairly good segue, but I want to ask one more question.
Is
Nick,
it?
what do you do? What keeps you busy and things like that, so Jen can do everything that she does?
What is wrong with this guy? So anyway, you guys having fundamentally different beliefs on the entire foundation of your love is a great segue into what do you guys like to do for fun besides devastate each other emotionally?
Yeah, so I just basically focus on real estate investing.
Okay.
Is what I do. So it doesn't require a lot of my time. So I can kind of help her with what she needs to do as far as her travel and me staying home. So that's kind of what I get into.
But also tell him, because July 4th is coming up.
Okay, so I also dabble around. I do fireworks as well.
No way.
I had a big like 50-foot shipping container come from China last
He
week,
likes dealing with
and I have
explosives.
anywhere between 3 to 5.
And it was just fireworks.
Right, cringe bonding.
Just fireworks.
Okay.
Yeah, for but we do like between 3 to 5 tents a year.
Thank you.
And so
Really?
that 2.5 week span, I'm just like swamped.
He's slammed.
Yeah.
And margins
Friggin'
have to be great in that,
landlord.
right?
Oh, it's insane. Especially
Love
when
you,
you
fair
from
enough.
China.
Did you just stumble into that, or did you like, hey, I can do that?
I kind of did. I knew a guy, and he was telling me about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I work for this guy, and we do that, blah blah blah." Well, the entrepreneurial spirit of me is like, "Why are you working for a guy? Come work for me. Like, let's do it together. You be the brains, and I'll be the backer." And that's
I hate when a podcast tries to like cover something controversial, and so you tune in because you're like, "Ah, yeah, let's get that tea," and it is lukewarm water mixed with milk. Like, what the fuck is this? You invited Blue Toilet Water Gate on here for her husband to like talk about his fireworks hobby. Like, I'm sure that's cool to like the other, I was gonna say the other dads of the PTO, but they literally don't have kids. They just have, it's just sad beige baby life and fighting over blue toilet water. Honestly, I'm a little bit jealous, quite frankly. That sounds like a lot less conflict on the day-to-day. Yeah. Right? But it's like, it reminds me of when we were listening to the Other Woman podcast or the Other Woman show. So I guess we didn't end up listening to the podcast when I was covering the Other Woman and the wife lady, but her podcasts are all like that. She's like, I'm going to talk to a cheater and we're going to get their story. And then she talks to the cheater and she's like, I was in a 20-year affair with my brother-in-law. And then you're like, oh my God, how did that go? And then she just spends the entire time talking about how her ex-husband didn't deal with her cheating on him for 20 years with his brother good enough, and how she thinks that him being sad negatively affects the kids more than the 20-year affair with Uncle Jim did. Like, what? How do you manage to not have anything positive to come out of this? Mommy Lauren, these people are creepy. You make them stay away. I wish I could, but instead I bring them right to your doorstep, right to your mobile device to watch and cringe together. Hopefully we get through this quick.
That's kind of what we did. So I've learned a lot about it. This year is the first year we figured out how to order from China directly versus
she can't even pretend to be interested.
Wholesale from here.
Yeah.
And so we're learning together, and it's really been great.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. I've envied that. And then I guess you could almost make, I know some people, I used to do hat sales. I used to go to College World Series and sell hats during that in Omaha, where was that then?
Wow,
and
this is cool and interesting.
And we make a killing and almost make almost 6 months of income based on that, just that 2-week span. And it's kind of similar like that, where you capitalize on certain events and focus and things like that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, down the line, he wants to get into like Christmas trees and then a pumpkin patch, like the seasonal
A pumpkin
stuff.
patch?
Yeah,
that's
where the money's at.
That's where the money's at right there.
Those sucker moms.
All right,
The Instagram moms will just line up for it. So.
Well, I know he'll be on TikTok helping that out a little bit.
Exactly.
And then doors, just real quick. So I know they only say doors. Like, how many doors do you have when you're in real estate, or is that more on rentals, or are you more commercial, residential, or?
Oh, so what I do is I used to build like big new construction houses, and I've kind of shifted my focus with these interest rates being so high. So I'll buy like cheaper houses, I'll renovate them, and I'll sell them, at a pretty cheap price that's very affordable for people.
Yeah.
That's what I get. I get like into flip renovations right now.
Like, really? This is newer for Nick. So this is just in the past few years. Since we had gone on a game show and won some money, he invested it all into this business.
So smart.
Nick was a barbecue pitmaster for 20 years. He ran barbecue restaurants.
Nick,
I sent you the commercial.
You did. Nick, if Jen dies, I'm marrying you.
He made us ribs last night. Like, no one gets ribs like Nick does. He's phenomenal.
We gotta do this. That's so cool.
So good. We always talk about maybe one day doing like a food truck or a catering business, but no one puts barbecue like him.
And you're in Nashville, right? You guys are in Nashville. Can you do food trucks in Nashville? Do they allow that?
Oh yeah, it's expensive. There's not a lot like where we live down here south of Nashville. And it would be kind of a passion project. It would be one of those things of like, if I make a little bit of money, great. If I don't, it is what it is.
It's fun though. You like it.
100%. Same thing with fireworks. We do really, really well with fireworks, but I enjoy just sitting out in the tents for 2 weeks because no one that comes in to buy fireworks is mad or angry. They're all happy.
I mean, I will say this. This historical context of his resume is at least giving us a little bit of insight into the whole debate of when he asked her, like, you've changed, like, when did you become like this? Well, this is actually giving us a little bit more insight. Is this Nick guy, he seems like he's always been kind of just like a laid back dude, probably didn't like come from a ton of money, but is just very hardworking, and due to the fact that like he's not motivated to have kids, is able to be more selfishly driven, right? And started coming into money, becoming a businessman, kind of naturally getting into real estate. That's naturally, obviously, if you get into a firework business and a real estate business, and to the point you're considering starting a pumpkin patch business, you're comfortable financially. And like, this is where she's like, what do you mean I've changed? We live in a nice neighborhood. And it's like, we're answering our own questions here. The lifestyle changed you. What is it Morgan Wallen says? She didn't come from it, but she ain't running from it. She about that lifestyle. I might have been butchering those lyrics, but also makes me very sad when people allege that real estate is like their passion, and yet they exist in sad beige baby world. How do we get here? You have like your choice of real estate options, and we choose Pinterest Mom Beige Edition.
They're excited to do it, right? So you just get to talk to people in their natural state of them being euphoric,
This is what I admire about Nick, just like doing passionate things. So the Live golf tournament is coming here 15 minutes up the road from us in 2 weeks. Nick signed up to be a volunteer. He contacted the Live tour, and he's going to be a ball spotter for 3 days. He's going to walk.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Oh, it's going to be
He
incredible.
is so
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Dude, I'm so envious. Do you guys ever make it down to Chattanooga by chance?
Oh, sure. I used to live there.
Did you really? I live in Ottawa, if you know where Ottawa is.
Yeah, my best friend lived in Ottawa, so I know exactly where that's at.
Yeah, I had some really, in fact, I got 2 boys,
This is
and
like
they spent most of their elementary years
when you're a
in that kind of area until they got to middle school, and then we moved.
and
And
your
Chattanooga's a special place in my heart.
parents
That's a
have
very
their
cool place.
friends
Love Nashville,
over,
but I really
and
love
you have
Chattanooga.
no
Yeah, no,
idea
it's beautiful.
what
We
they're
contemplated living
talking
there years ago. We didn't pull the
about,
trigger,
but
but
you still have to
we like where we're at now. Yeah, Chattanooga's great.
Yeah, man. Well, man, we need to cut it up off show and have some fun. Talk about Jen a little bit, maybe. The non-soulmate there. So let's get into this because we already got a little spicy. But we want to talk about this TikTok thing. I was doing my thing old man style, like my grandma. I was going like this and looking at some things, and I ran across you guys. And there was a dude's little head in the corner, and he was doing his summary or whatever and things like that. What's going on here? Talk to me about TikTok. You're the TikTok.
Wait. Charlie, did you just say that you found out about this through a dude's video? You saw his head in the corner? But I thought the only way people knew about this was through Emily. But oh no, what about your big bully Emily being the only reason anybody knew about this? Oh no. Sorry I missed your cheer, Girthy.
Queen, but talk to me about this.
Charlie, in about the span of 30 seconds, I destroyed my entire reputation online. I gotta say, it was a
soundbite.
Okay. Well, we award a gold star for 1 point of accountability. Okay. Hold on, let me read Doom for Zombies. Bait and switch plus humanizing plus not the best stream to listen to while biking. I mean, look, you shouldn't really have to do too much visualizing. I know we did some body language analyzing earlier, but you don't have to, Doom for Zombies. Just simply trust me. Trust me, bro.
It's a rough couple weeks. The good news is you can recover. So here's what happened. I was out of town for a work trip, and I came home, and like we just said, Nick works remotely. He can be home with our dogs. He's amazing. He cleans the house. He does the cooking. I mean, I really have a phenomenal husband here. And so every time I come home from a work trip, I know I'm going to walk into a spotless house.
God, I usually do not like to feed into whenever you guys are like, she's cheating. Anytime any woman does anything slightly off, I do think typically the immediate she's cheating allegation can be a little red pill incel-y. Hold on, pardon my French for one of Girthy. Talk about it. I know, Girthy, I know. We finally got there though. But like, she leaves for a work trip. And when she comes back, she insists on picking a fight about one of the stupidest fucking things she possibly can, and kept it going for so long, while also pseudo love bombing the guy. And I'm speculating. This is one theory of many several. But the first red flag for me was when she mentioned earlier, like, well, I could be with like 15 different guys and be faithful to all of them. Like, it's like I said earlier, it's always a little weird to me when people have to like keep adding on details or over explain themselves. So that one was like, why did you add that in? You know what I mean? It's kind of like it when you like look at like a girl looks at her boyfriend's phone and goes, oh, who's that? And he's like, it's not like I'm cheating on you. Like, that was almost an overreaction to that. You know what I'm saying? And so now, both of these behaviors happen when someone has cheated, like notoriously. The immediate love bombing, to the point where like people joke about it. If you get a text from your significant other while they're out of town at 2 or 4 a.m. saying they love you, they just cheated on you. Like, it's a meme at this point. And then another thing that cheaters do is they'll pick fights over like almost trivial nothing burgers as a reallocation of guilt. They want to project. They want to alleviate the guilt within themselves, or almost even justify the affair by finding something awful that you've done, right? Now, strong chance that she was not cheating too, and this really was just like a stupid blown up overreaction. And to be honest, there's could have been like tons of moments just like this. This is just the one that made it to TikTok. But I will say it's just a little red flaggy.
It's something that I don't take for granted. Super grateful.
Yeah,
for
don't.
it.
From another guy's point of view, don't.
Yeah.
I know this is not normal. I walked in to go to the restroom, obviously, like as soon as I got off the plane, got home, and our toilet water was blue, like a gas station. And I was like,
again with like this, like a 7-Eleven, like a gas station, like so it's her. She has, this is very white lady Karen behavior, but she has like slowly over time come to associate in her own mind's eye like bathrooms at gas stations with the blue toilet water, and that being a very negative thing. It is giving very classist. It's giving very minimum wage workers and everything associated with them are beneath me. Isn't it? And I think that's the ugly part for me. So far she's still upset about it.
what did you do? What is this? And bless his heart, like, he did it for me. He thought that I wanted that because he had found some blue tabs under the counter, which I assume was from like a previous owner of her house. I would have never bought that. But he saw it thinking, oh, Jen must have bought that.
There's going to be no royalty on the royal flush or whatever they're called. There's no royalty going on here.
And so he puts one in the tank and puts it in both of our tanks in both of our bathrooms. And I'm like, this is disgusting. Like, it smells like a gas station. It looks terrible. I'm like, why would you do this? Like,
So it's got an aroma too.
She truly is all about the gas station slander. She is like, and every single one of y'all can get it to fucking Come and Go, Speedway, Mobile. Every single one of you can catch the Jen Lyles gas station slander.
It's not just a color.
right.
Even Buc-ee's. Even fucking Buc-ee's.
It's
Really?
I don't know about that.
Nick, my nose is a lot better than yours, and you know it. It was bad. It was disgusting. So anyway, I was like, okay, what's the big deal? Maybe after a few flushes it'll go. It didn't. It was. I swear it was.
It's like 3,000 flushes, isn't that their claim? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Come on.
So I decide to take some tongs and like get in there to get it out. And as I do it, the whole thing disintegrates
What?
into this super bright blue. So now it does look
With like the
that.
blue lines, like the darker and the lighter blue, and it's like all like coming down and doing its thing.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. I'm like, how do we get this out? And we are
Not
not the
the
most
disc
handy
retrieval.
people. We hire a lot of people to do stuff. Like, we literally don't know how to change a doorknob in our house. And so to even like empty the back of the toilet, we wouldn't even know how to do that. Like, we'd have to like Google it, get on YouTube, something. So I'm like, Nick, you need to do this. And he's
His face is kind of like, I really wish you would speak for yourself right now.
like, oh my, like, who cares? What's the big deal? Like, it'll go away. And I'm like, no, like, we have company over. Like, this just, I don't like, I think it looks kind of trashy. Like, I don't want it here. So we're laying in bed one night. I'm like searching, and I search on TikTok how to empty your water tank in the back of your toilet. And he's like, oh my God, like, enough with it. What is the big deal? And so that was sort of our fight.
So was this dramatic reasons, or was she this intense, Nick? Like, it was like the end of my world right now.
Yes, I want to hear from
No,
Nick.
she wasn't that dramatic, but you know how Jen can be, where there's massive emphasis on things, and it wasn't like that big of a deal, but she just kept saying, like, she just wouldn't let it go. Like, oh, this is so stupid. What are you doing? You're an idiot. You're an idiot, right? Like, just that.
Yeah, see, we left that part out. You know, like, I was, just from the way she told the story, I could tell that she was patronizing him, putting him down, placing immediate doubt on his decision making. But now we hear from Nick, she's straight up calling him an idiot. Sir, That's called abuse. They don't have to put their hands on you to be abusing you. Do you think that any man in this world would get away with calling his wife an idiot over and over again because, bless her heart, she was trying to clean the fucking house? Are you serious? I think we all know that that man would rightfully be exiled from society. That's gross and deplorable behavior. Your spouse, and you knew this from the beginning, you knew that their entire intention was so that you could come home from your trip to a clean house, and you spend a month calling them an idiot. And this is the thing, I talk about this all the time, how nice guys and nice girls end up just enabling the shit out of this behavior. And that's exactly what Nick is about to do here, is he's like, haha, yeah, she called me an idiot for a month straight, but like, she wasn't that dramatic about it. Like, my guy, I understand that this is all you've known for 17 years, but in normal, happy, healthy relationships, we're not calling each other names at all. And so it's not like a respite when they only do it sometimes. And it's not like it's better than what they usually do when they do it. Like, Nick, most of us are not being called idiots by our spouses. And those of us who are deeply unhappy. Now, I shouldn't have said of us. TJ would never. Sometime could we react to Sadia Khan? Email me. I don't know who that even is.
That kind of stuff. It wasn't like
banter. Like, this is how Nick and I, like,
No,
we
I
all-
get.
It's not banter! It's not banter to call your spouse names! Oh my god, okay. Where's Levi? I need to calm down. Oh god, I just flipped the chair. Alright. Miles, come here. Miles is like, I can sense a bit of anxiety. What do you mean? What do you mean? You called him an idiot. You called him stupid over and over, and that's not how people joke with each other. Ever. What is my heart rate? I'm curious. Let's find out together. That one triggered me. That one had a triggering response to that one. Let's see. 10 minutes ago, it was at 65 beats per minute. What are we at now? 123. Okay, we're gonna calm down. My heart rate fucking doubled when she called literal emotional abuse and beating someone down with their self-esteem casually over toilet water banter between spouses. Oh, thank God they don't have kids.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it. But who decided to video it? Like, well, how did that come about?
So this is-
Obviously, Jen did. What do you... I hate this guy. Charlie Parker, what a fucking goober you have been this entire time. What kind of a question is that? Who decided to film it? Oh, yeah, Nick did. Nick was like, hey, babe, you know what you should do today? You know how you should spend your day? I'll leave the house so you can have some privacy. I want you to just talk a bunch of fucking shit about me online to perfect strangers and put me under hellish scrutiny. That's what I would love, Jen. Are you kidding me? Whose idea was it?
So this is what happened. I had been telling my friends the story. They thought it was hysterical. We're totally on my side about it.
Of course they are.
Of course.
yeah, if you're friends.
Well, at first,
Oh
my friend
God.
Melissa.
So her friends are as fucking stupid as she is about the blue toilet water. She could be very smart about other things, but I don't know, because she said she doesn't know how to change a doorknob and she hires people for everybody. So I don't know. She's probably kept alive solely on privilege and a prayer, quite frankly, but let's let her finish.
Like, you're being kind of dramatic. And then I showed her the video of like the blue toilet. She's like, okay, you're not being dramatic. That looks ridiculous.
It's a toilet.
Listen, it just doesn't look good, Charlie. It looked like a gas station.
They call them cakes, don't they? I was trying to think of it. Don't they call them urinal cakes? Urinal cakes. You're
Yes.
anti-urinal cake.
I'm anti-urinal cake. Who
What are you
knows?
talking
I had
about?
a client come.
Who gave Charlie all of this equipment to just come up in here and not make any goddamn sense whatsoever? A urinal cake and a toilet cleaning disc are two different things. What the fuck? And you're a man. What?
To town with her husband. We're sitting at dinner. I tell them the story. They're hysterically laughing. They're like, this is so funny. They're like, you should put it on TikTok. My friends are like, you should put this. I was like, no, that's not really my brand on TikTok. I do like clothes reviews. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it on the TikTok. And if there's anything I know about TikTok, it's I know how to rage bait. I know how to have a hook. I know how to get someone to watch something.
You're a student of the game. You're a student of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know who her friends are, but I guarantee you that they were the same girls that you would see stumbling around downtown, like double fisting Four Locos in heels and like puking everywhere. I already know.
I know how to go viral. So that's what I did. I did a story and, I rage baited it a bit, like a little over dramatic.
Oh my God. See, I told you people do this. I told you this is there are people who post this shit and then when it all like blows up in their face, this is exactly what happened with the spite chair lady, is she unironically tried to shame her partner online. It backfired. She herself looked like the stupid one. And then she decided that she was just a rage bait creator. Even though all of the videos that she also unironically uploaded of tracking her husband after she thought he was cheating on her and then deleted those videos because she was so embarrassed. Now she's saying that she just creates rage bait and then like veered into that lane. Like, no, ma'am, you did not, because rage bait is constructed. That's, like, it's stuff that people make up just to get a reaction. That's not what you did. Unless what she's trying to do is she's trying to say, I was trying to get everybody to dog my husband so I could validate myself. She's trying to call that rage baiting. Even though it suddenly became illegal once we did that, I guess.
And I did not say it. I did not say.
Actually, that's the funny thing, too, is she only deleted the video because the majority of people were not on her side. But I think we can all agree that had this pooped out into the algorithm side where her insane, very likely Caucasian as fuck, bratty bougie bitches crew hangs out, if it was well consumed and people did agree with her, the video would absolutely still be up and she would not care what people said about this man. Okay? She's just mad that no one agreed with her outside of her direct validation station.
Should I divorce him? In the caption, which was a joke, I said, is this grounds for divorce? Question mark. That was it.
Gosh.
Immediately,
Nick.
this is
Unbelievable.
this is
So you get
That's another tool, by the way. That's another tool, is woman does something inappropriate to the man. This could be like emasculating him or putting him down in front of other people, and then she like does a little touch of like gesture of affection, and that's supposed to erase it all. As if she's like then you're not allowed to be mad at the cruel, heartless, shitty thing that she just said about you. Them's the rules.
get her an hour a week. Imagine 24/7.
this is hey,
17 years. I'm just going to say that for everybody watching.
soulmate.
17 years. Keep going.
I'm sorry. As much as I do give them the accolades for being together so long, I do like a length of a marriage is not an automatic proof that it's a good marriage, obviously.
Going though, but 17 years.
Like, let this love never find me. I'll say that.
We're trying to soulmate that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, this is what
She also, I'm sorry to be such a body language analyst, but I'm going to be for this live stream. She also keeps looking at him to gauge his reaction. You see that a lot with these partner shamers. If they ever do make a follow-up, we saw that with the Lindsay Donnelly situation, who shamed her husband after also leaving on a work trip and coming back. And she did the same thing when they made their follow-up video together. She kept like looking over to gauge his reaction after saying whatever crazy shit she says.
what happened. The comments were very divided. It was a lot of people that
Was
were
it
like,
gender divided?
no,
They were not divided, Jen. Be so for real. No one was on your side. Cameron says emailed you a link to my music channel. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. We'll have to check that out. Feature you in a live outro or intro one of these days. But no, oh my God.
at first, no. I mean, it was mostly women. Not a ton of men were on my page because how TikTok works is the algorithm. They generally serve my content up to women, millennial women, because
And that's what you've driven towards. That's your lane.
and that's who I am in my profile. So that's who generally sees my stuff. So the comments were very split. Like, oh, you're so lucky to have a husband to even clean. You should be bowing down to him. To where I'm like, how low is this?
Bowing down. Wow.
Oh, you should be worshiping this man. I've been married for 40 years. My husband's never even changed a diaper, never even cleaned a toilet. And I'm like, okay, you have bigger problems. Like if that is your life, like I'm sorry, but the bar is low for women. If I'm supposed to be worshiping Nick for cleaning a toilet.
And you wonder.
It's like she can't see any space in between. It's for Jen, it's either you shame your partner to the internet or you are worshiping their every move and throwing a parade in the street and completely surrendering your autonomy to be subservient to him. And honey, there is indeed a middle ground where you say thank you for doing things, even if it's not the exact way you would do it. That's all.
A lot of people.
Okay, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm digging it. This is great for my downloads, so keep going.
But then on the other side, I have a ton of people who were like, yes, that's for a gas station. Oh my goodness, this is so funny. This is so hilarious. Everything was very like good, bad. Like a lot of things happen on TikTok.
But it went personal, didn't it? There was
What happened was 2 days later, two huge creators with millions of followers decided to stitch the video where they were giving their input, which was very negative toward me.
And that's what I
How
saw.
dare they?
That's what you saw. Oh, about 1 million people saw my video. About 6 million saw each of those.
She honestly, in her heart of hearts, because obviously there's blood pumping. I don't know if the lights are on at home up top, but in her heart of hearts, this woman, honest to God, believes that everyone would have agreed that blue toilet water is a crime against humanity and that she was absolutely right to be upset with him if it weren't for other people telling them not to think that way. Honestly believes that we'd all be on her side.
So
Yep.
that's when I started getting thousands and thousands and thousands of comments coming to my videos.
This is when he's like, those were the good days. How much do you think, like, that's where his joy right now is coming from, is like the satisfaction of how that did not fucking go the way she planned at all. Like, I see the joy returning back to him. Like, the smile is coming back after her previous... I mean, I could have really been with 15 other guys if I wanted to.
People who would normally never stumble across my stuff, and it was bad. It was like it was personal. People were saying how ugly I am and how I have a huge forehead.
So they went to a different,
different lot to where I was like, this is bad. I mean, people were messaging me to kill myself.
They always do this. They always do this. Is listen. All I did was post a silly little video and they went crazy. Every single person was making threats on my life and attacking my physical appearance. I mean, yeah, ignore the fact that that was really only like maybe 4 comments and the grand majority of them were criticizing my behavior, my worldview, my privilege, my classist attitude, like being a Karen basically. But no, the 4 people who did hit below the belt, I'm just going to pretend that that was all of them.
You're kidding me.
No.
Oh yeah.
Because I hear this, you know, you just from a, and I don't want to deviate a little bit, but
Yeah, that happened to me. Can you believe people are so mean?
because I want to get to our vertical a little bit at the end of this, because I do want to segue into that, so we won't forget about that. But you hear about that stuff, the cyberbullying, the I don't know if it's unintentional words with such intentional outcomes.
Yeah.
By saying like a urinal cake, honestly, you can disagree or agree, whatever.
Cake.
But to go that far against another human being, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Sure.
someone messaged Nick like on Instagram Messenger, found him and was like, your wife is having an affair in Nashville. And I'm like, what? First of all, why would I do it in Nashville, on my home turf? But second of all, like, that is crazy. Like,
What? Oh no, that was a crazy thing to say. That didn't just like fly under anyone else's radar, right? Like we all just heard the same thing. God fucking forbid I am ever on a podcast with TJ and he goes, cheat on my wife in our own city? Oh my God, no, I would leave the state. Very, very uncomfortable thing to say after you just said that you went for a work trip, though, for 10 days. Okay. I did not want to be in the she's probably cheating camp, but she's making it really hard not to be at this point. Dude, we're not even halfway through. She's gonna fully sell me by the end of this.
Home turf. So you have like road turf.
Did you catch that, Nick? It's like okay. First
even,
of all, dummy.
Even Charlie Parker's clueless ass caught that. That's how you know your tell just fully fucking told. Your hand has been shown. That you just showed your whole ass, Jen. That. Ah, poor Nick.
I wouldn't do that in my own location.
Yeah.
Like,
I
duh.
in Florida by the beach.
The giggle.
this is Nick and I. We're just like banter. Like, what's the big...
Is this really happening? This is so crazy. She really just fucking say, oh my God, no, I would never have an affair in Nashville. I'm from Nashville. I have my affairs in different states. And then she goes, but this is how we joke with each other. I have not heard Nick make a single joke about being interested in any other women whatsoever. And this is now like your 4th or 5th mention that you could easily just get other guys. So,
big deal? Like, has no one ever been married before? Like, when you're with someone...
It's just marriage. It's just marriage. Are you guys ever been married before? This woman is unbelievable.
Someone for over 20 years, this is how you talk to each other. It was so bad. The comments were people proposing to Nick and leave her, divorce. Everyone was saying divorce her, marry me. I mean, it was really, really bad. And the comments were really getting to me. I had to literally take the app off of my phone, which is what I did, just so I wouldn't even be tempted to look. And I went 3 days not going on.
Because the
Damn it.
emotional impact.
I wish we would have bullied her off the internet for longer than 3 days. Like, I'm sorry, bullying bad, I guess, for her own sake, because she has no idea how good at self-sabotage she is. For her own sake, I really just wish the bullying would have worked longer.
Impact of something that you were using as just a tool, right?
Yeah.
Have some fun with it, that turned into this very visceral. Is visceral the right word? Is that a right word? Visceral? Yeah, I think.
Not a fucking brain cell between the three of them.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, Nick, and Johnny.
Nick tentatively agreeing
Into this
that
very
visceral
kind
is a
of
word.
personal attack on your integrity almost, and your marriage vows and who you are as a human, or what you're
Yeah, and who caused that, Charlie? Who is responsible for the attack on the integrity of the marriage? Us, the audience? We did that? No.
maker gave you. You know, that type of thing. And Nick's over here getting marriage proposals.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad for one of us.
Yeah, what did everyone call you, Nick?
I was a green flag.
Green flag
apparently.
guy.
Whatever
Everyone.
that means.
Oh,
What's a green flag guy?
Opposite of a red flag. Red flag is like, oh, stay away from that person. They have red flags.
Oh. Oh, so we
Nick
got
is a
flags now.
picture's actually right.
Really?
Yeah.
I got Jack in here. He's an intern. He goes to, you're at CNU, right? CNU is,
This guy has an intern? What the hell? I swear all the wrong people have money.
it saves me. I'm not smart. Christopher Newport University. We got Jack here. He's an intern with us from Christopher Newport University, so he's helping me with the young thing. And,
Okay.
yeah, so he's helping.
So he knows red flags, green flags.
He did. Yeah, he was shaking his head yes, and I'm going, huh? So you're a green flag guy.
Nick is green flag guy. I think what upset me.
Wait, Jen, I got to cut you off. But
Yeah.
not in your hometown.
Not on my home turf.
Yeah, that's your turf. You know,
Maybe
that's
we
my
should
turf.
cut that. Like that was again a joke, and that's the thing is people don't pick.
Okay, that hometown thing, that was a joke. Guys, oh my God, you're really holding on to that.
Pick that up because they don't know me. Because my friends watch the video and they're like, I know you. If you don't know you, you probably don't come off great. But it wasn't just that. It was like the stitches were so bad.
Yeah, but they made it worse. What I saw, even from you've been a journalist. You know, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
To almost.
It's also so weird the way he just like keeps the microphone right in front of his mouth, like he's constantly sucking a dick or like has a pacifier. You know what I mean? This is the whole. It's so weird.
Stoke the fire on their own narrative, and we're going into a campaign season, and that's going to happen. Those type of things, and then that narrative gets pushed, and they forget about this part. They only hear the inflammatory part, and it's freaking TikTok. I mean, to me,
What do you mean? We literally watched all of your videos, Jen. We watched the videos you put out, by yourself. What other part of the narrative even was there? Please, like, this is literally your chance to give us the other side of the narrative, and you're combusting inside of yourself like a dying star.
it's like, dude, you can buy a blouse or make fun of someone. I mean, what do you want to do?
Well, what I have learned is that people need to be told what to think about a situation. No one has their own opinions because when it was people's opinions, people could see both sides and see the humor in it. It wasn't until two big creators had to tell people what to think about the situation, which is that we should get a divorce, that all the comments started coming. I mean, it's mind blowing.
But are those influencers, are the Stitch people, are they considered influencers, or are they just Johnny come latelys that just ride the coattails? Jack? They're basically influencers, right? Yeah. So, but I feel like they're not. They're riding other people's coattails for their own personal gain.
The one does. The woman, that's all she does, is she finds these rage bait.
Should we put her on blast on here?
Oh, she's coming for Emily. Okay, Jen. Go and say your piece on Emily, and then I'll say mine. How about that? Does that sound fun? That sounds fun to me. What do you got to say about Emily? Let's hear about how Emily is just a big old clout chaser. You know all the hundreds of emails she gets from people who thank her every day for recognizing their pain points so that they're not so fucking depressed all the time? She's just doing it for the attention, I guess. Dude, she's so mad. And what about the other guy? We're not gonna call out the other guy. He apparently didn't do it for attention. Just Emily. All right. What do you have to say for yourself, ma'am?
I'm not even saying any of their names because I don't even want anyone going to their pages. I just don't support them. I just don't support people taking other people's content just to tear them down when you don't even know these people. And I think what hurt me the most was that we have an amazing marriage. Like, we are best friends.
Oh my God, here we go again. She's gonna paint it as if Emily just like took her video and then just started like making fun of her physical appearance. Let me pull up Emily's video. Let's just watch it. Let's just hear the cruel and unusual things that Emily has to say, allegedly. Let's find out here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, you can see it did go a little viral, and it's what the queen deserves, quite frankly.
My husband and I have been married for 17 years. Here's what happened. Every
Oh, I guess we could watch the whole thing here. She has the whole video.
more how legal all the time. When did you get a big deal about this? When did you get so high?
Big deal.
Jeez, Emily barely
main
even says
bathroom.
anything. She just
It looks
shows
good
the
now.
video.
In the main bathroom, but not the master.
This might surprise some of you, but I do think this is a big deal because that man is clearly not appreciated for anything more than toilet water. So yeah, I do think this is a big deal. That man is absolutely justified in his reaction. And honestly, he needs to set some boundaries to ensure respect and appreciation for everything he does in that relationship. And that man better not say sorry when it somehow gets turned around on him.
Wow, she really tore her down. Really just a woman tearing down another woman by saying, he seems like he has the right to be upset, and healthier boundaries would probably help him out in this relationship so that he can feel more appreciated. The misogyny. Like, literally, just say that the only women you want to hear from are the ones who are like, no, it's fine if you cheat on your husband if you're out of town, and it's fine if you freak out and have an entire mental breakdown on your husband if you've been happily married already. It's fine. You've been married for years. You can freak out. She's jealous of Emily, who is gorgeous on both the inside and outside. Emily's also intelligent and intellectually consistent. See, that's really girls looking out for girls right here. Me and Samantha just boosting the shit out of Emily. This broad drinking the haterade. She's definitely getting plowed harder than a Canadian driveway in winter. Oof, dude. Man, hating on Emily. Literally, Emily did nothing wrong.
Really are.
No, for sure. And I think the thing that stinks about it the most is, you just take like 30 seconds of somebody's life and assume that's 24/7. But I think if you knew us, it would be the complete opposite. Like it's just not really that way. And I think the main point I took away from it was, out of the mouth, the heart speaks, right?
Yeah.
And I just think there's just a lot of people out there that are I just think there's a lot of evil out there.
Yeah.
I think it's evil intent, and for me as an older guy, because, we're almost 9 years apart.
They act like the world is just looking for something to just like, they're basically using the excuse of like, you're just looking for something to be mad about. Like, that's so crazy to me that they think that it has nothing to do with her actions, the intent that she put in to filming that video and posting that video. Her intention that entire time was, she literally used the words rage baity. She's claiming that she designed it to be rage bait, and is now like, where did all this anger and animosity come from? I think age gapped relationships can work. However, 9 years apart and she was 19 at the time, that's a little much for me. Yeah, I will say 30-year-olds have no business dating anyone with teen in the age. It's gross and cringe. And I know that in many states, after 18, it's legal. But if you're 30 and you're talking to a 19-year-old, I'm not inviting you to fucking anything, bro. That's so weird of you. I do have to agree.
Which isn't much. I mean, to be quite honest with you, especially when you take not age maturity, but maturity, you take that.
But see, when you look at people like us, Charlie, like, I feel that our generation can just let that roll off the back and just laugh about it like, oh, man, these people, right?
Which generation? You say our generation, but you two come from two different generations. So this is awkward.
But I didn't realize how much it affected her. Because I kept saying
deeply.
It's not deal. Yeah, and I was like, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Dude, Emily predicted everything though, and I think that is why she's so fucking livid, is because Emily literally said, you better not apologize when she tries to turn it around on you. And that was her end goal. That was Jen Lyle's end goal, was to get this man on a podcast and apologize for what she had to go through. And she might get her wish too. This is why we need Emily.
But at the same time, though, if 5,000 people called you ugly, you would start questioning yourself.
Well, and then you get into shaming, right? What's that girl's name? She did a song about Victoria's Secret.
Jax.
Jax, yeah. And I think that's the point of her song, right? Is that you were duped into thinking this, and it was from a man. It wasn't even from a fellow woman. Is that a good analogy? I don't know, but that's kind of what I get.
Yeah, but I also think about it from the standpoint of, I could see if you didn't have a strong marriage with your spouse, that this could be like it could kind of rip people
that could have
apart.
broke you apart, or subconsciously you house it.
We're getting closer now. It's almost like what I've been trying to say for the last 3 years, that partner shaming irrevocably damages your relationship. It's almost like the actions that your wife chose to take caused all of this. Almost.
And then it comes up, like, I never believe a real argument comes from that. It's always exacerbated, and that's just the catapult that got the elephant in the room out there. And it's to some extent, I mean, that could have really done damage, maybe not now, but in 2 years, where it's back there and then it comes up again or something like that.
See, for us, it's not that way. Because, like, I mean, I'll be 100% honest with you. If somebody came up to me and said, hey, I saw Jen at a conference in Orlando, not on her home turf, but in Orlando, and she was with a guy, I'd be like, no, she wasn't. Like, I mean, I fully trust.
For those of you who are not watching her facial expression right now, she just, after he said, I would say, no, she wasn't. If someone told me Jen was with a guy, I would say, no, she wasn't. She just starts nodding. Like, that's what you're supposed to say. Not like, oh, thank you, babe. Nothing like that. Just like, yep, exactly as we agreed.
Trust her. And if she was, great. She was probably doing business. Like, I don't think I would never in my entire life think, okay, she's going out and leaving me, going somewhere else.
What I would give for that ignorance. I would love it. This is the happiest dude on earth right now. I know it might not seem like it, but to have so much blissful ignorance like this and honestly believe that, powerful man.
And there's malicious intent behind it.
Do you
So that's why I never took it serious, because I believe in our marriage. Like, that's why I thought it was funny when she would tell me certain things about what people say. I would laugh.
You were laughing about it, and it probably makes her even more mad. Yeah, because you're not appreciating
You're so non-supportive. Blah blah blah. God, you're just like these people. And
I'm gonna video this now.
Yeah. In 2 weeks, this will all go away. It'll be fine.
But you know, I want to ask you a question because I think it's relevant. Do you think true love, gives someone confidence in their marriage for the other person, or does confidence have to happen separate even from the love? Do you get what I mean when I ask that? Like trust, maybe trust is a better word.
That's a decent
I
question.
think we
Trust.
could go with either
What?
or.
What are you talking about? Trust and confidence are two very different things. You're asking two completely different questions. God, he was so close to actually asking a good question. Is if you think that your main source of confidence should come from your relationship, or if it should come from outside of the relationship. And that's a great question. I personally have so many thoughts on that. Like, obviously you should be giving each other confidence. If your partner doesn't make you feel confident, that's going to eat away at you. Like, if you can't come home to someone who's going to make you feel good about yourself, like, that it's going to make you feel bad about yourself, unfortunately. So there's a lot to be said for the confidence your partner can provide, but you also need confidence that comes from outside of the relationship, that comes from something that you yourself can be proud of without your partner even being a part of it, to have the full scope of confidence. You need self-confidence, and then you need some reassurance outside of yourself, obviously. So a little bit of both. But trust is completely dependent on a person-to-person basis. The love, I have a baseline, like, general sense of, like, decency trust. Like, I trust that you will not punch me in the face, but not much more than that level of trust. And then it will likely grow if we are very close, and it is so easy to destroy. You know what I mean? So trust, very different. But in this guy's case, here's one really interesting thing that I think is happening with him, that I think happens with a lot of guys, is I recently saw, and we covered it on a live stream, where a girl had it said in her TikTok, like, girls who are fun girls, you need to be careful because you are a fun girl, so you will have fun everywhere you go. And this can cause you to accidentally, fall for every guy you go on a date with because you're having so much fun, because you're a fun person. And it will take you longer to realize when other people are not actually providing the fun, it's all you. And at first I was like, this is a weird video. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, there's probably some truth to that. And in this situation, he is a calm, chill guy. Everywhere he goes, he brings the calm, chill energy. And in a similar vein, it can take those guys a really long time to realize that any calmness being brought into the relationship is because of him and his sacrifices, and she is bringing none of it. Right? I think it's a very similar thing.
I think that when your spouse, like, really loves you and you love your spouse, the least thing that you would ever want to do is hurt that spouse, hurt that relationship, hurt that trust, right? And
Did she just swallow? Doesn't she look deeply uncomfortable here? I'm probably overanalyzing things at this point.
I'll give you an example. I love the peace of mind. Now, before Jen and I met, I was dating a lot of women, and I never, like, fully trusted them, right?
He was a player, Jen.
Well, but I will always say,
I'm aware of it.
But I will always say, I'm so much more happy now because, it's like if my wife's out of town, okay, why did she call me at 10 o'clock? Why didn't she call me at 7? Was she doing this? This is prime cheating hours. What's going on? I never think that. Like, she'll be gone the whole day. She'll call me at 10 o'clock from the hotel. We'll talk. Never think nothing about it. So I think there's incredible value in having. I always say, you hate this saying, but I always would much rather have a peace of mind than a piece of tail, right?
I swear.
And that's what I have.
We get sound bites, Mark, and that's another shirt moment. I'm going to the clothing.
It's not juicy because I didn't use foul language because I don't.
No, but trust me, dude. I filled in the blank there a little. Not the blank, but the yeah. No, and I get why she doesn't like it, probably, but I get why it's so appropriate too.
Yeah,
I do.
And the thing is, as men, I will say this too. As men, you know, it is our job to take care of our wives and our spouses, right? Because my wife is putting full trust in me to be able to take care of her. You know what I mean? Not just financially, but like emotionally and all these other aspects, right? So she has I think women in general just have a lot of fear in marriage because they're relying on a spouse to take care of them.
To make them feel safe.
When that spouse is flawed himself.
Yeah.
So I don't want her to have any fear.
Oh, wow.
So I want her to know, like, hey, I support you. Like, we'll do this, we'll do that. Like, you know, our marriage is it's defined roles, but at the same time, it's very fluid because, like, hey, Nick, I need you to drop everything I got to do because I got to go out of town. Okay, great, let's do that. So I chose a career. I walked away from a career.
What? She just regularly makes this man drop everything he needs to do so she can go out of town? It sounds like her career takes priority over his, and so how exactly does she rely on him? This is really a really interesting dynamic.
Where I was super successful and super good at what I did because I knew it was her time.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did in the marriage. You do things to make it work because I'm giving my wife confidence because I believe in her abilities, and that just makes it stronger. So if that ties in your confidence.
No,
piece.
that is so good, man. I'm glad we spent some time on that. But I would say, Jen, from some of the comments, I almost get the feeling of a little bit of a transference onto you on their own insecurities or their own quote unquote issues to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sad.
That's really what the negative reaction is. All of us criticizing Jen for having a temper tantrum over blue toilet water. What we're really experiencing here is we're transferring our deepest insecurities and our own relationship problems onto Jen. And now that Charlie, this amazing, intelligent man, has brought that to my attention, I now realize that that's all it was, because in actuality, the truth is I hate myself the way that I should be hating blue toilet water. That I deserve to love myself enough to see blue toilet water as the gas station trash that we don't have to tolerate anymore. So that's what I've learned. It's time for us all to step up.
For a lot of women that are in marriages where they're not happy and their husbands don't pull the weight. I feel sad for people like that. And I feel sad for people that feel the need to say, that are single, but feel the need to come over to my page and say, get a divorce, get a divorce, get a divorce. Like truly wanting me to be unhappy.
From 30 seconds, from 30-second clip of fun.
Seconds.
Yeah.
I just cannot imagine. Like, if I don't like something on my For You page, I just swipe past it. Like,
Yeah.
I can go to the comments and say something hurtful. I have never, ever done that.
I have never said anything hurtful in my life. Hey, you guys remember, like, literally 7 minutes ago when he was talking about how she called him an idiot for a month straight? Okay, Jen.
And I can't imagine what it would take in someone to do that. And so I have compassion for people, but a lot of it was extremely hurtful because it came at such a rapid speed, like by the thousands, and it would not stop.
Yeah.
It wouldn't stop that I had to take down my video because I just didn't want more people.
So you did remove it.
I removed my video and I kept up my initial apology, which was like done in jest, which everyone flooded to that.
She literally just admitted the entire apology was done in jest, by the way.
Apology video to even beat me up even more, and then went on all my other videos on my page and just
poor Jen. Oh, poor Jen. Things just happened to her. She doesn't cause anything. She just makes funny jokes that no one gets, and then everybody targets her and bullies her. Aw, poor Jen.
Typed in like blue water, blue water, blue water, blue water. Like in every outfit I wore. Oh, does it come in blue? Does it come in blue? And what these
Okay, wait a minute, that's kind of funny.
That is-
I will say that's kind of funny. Sorry. So do these Stitch guys, do they take theirs down? I mean, did they ever do you think in TikTok especially, and I'm making them a category, I guess, and they are, do they have a responsibility to reach out to the person before they set their narrative, do you think? Or is that in this information world and how fast it is?
That's a good question. I don't think so. Well, I'm gonna be happy, not her to be unhappy. I mean, I think that there were a few people who did get some satisfaction out of taking the wind out of her sails. I mean, and rightfully so. Like, she approached the internet so fucking entitled. Like, there's very few things in this world like less satisfying or more satisfying than watching a Karen get humbled. You know what I'm saying? Though I again don't think that she has learned a damn thing. But that's a fair question, and I think that sometimes it's worthwhile to reach out to someone before you respond. But for the most part, no. The truth is, creators want to cover topics while they're relevant. Not everybody has the time to like sit around waiting to see if you'll check your DMs. Not everybody even checks their DMs. You know, and you could at least say like, well, at least tried to reach out to them. Maybe that is the correct thing to do. But I wouldn't say that anybody has a responsibility to reach out to these people. Like, I personally don't think Emily King owes this lady anything. You put your shit out public facing like that, everybody in the world has the right to react to it with fair use, with whatever kind of opinions they want. And you can be butthurt about that if you want to, but under no obligation are they required to check in with you and your feelings and see how you like it, because you just sure as hell didn't check in with Nick before recording that.
Is it unrealistic?
You want an internet stranger to have more loyalty to you than you have to your own husband. That's crazy.
I chose to put my video public. So no, they don't have a responsibility.
Because it's there.
Okay.
You took the choice to make it
I made the
open to
choice.
anybody.
That's on me. They can do whatever
go.
they want. I think it was hurtful from the male creator who chose to do it, because he actually several years ago, and I had been following him since 2020. He was on a CBS show. I mean, he really is
Does
an
anyone know who
influencer.
she's talking
He had to get
about?
off of TikTok because he was receiving so much online hate and bullying that he couldn't take it anymore, specifically even about his marriage. And so I think what was hurtful was like, dude, you just went through that. You were receiving death threats. You needed time away from social because your mental health was so bad, and you chose to throw my marriage under the bus in that way and have
You threw your own marriage under the bus. Oh my God. The accountability will never touch her.
thousands of people come to my page and do the same. Like, did you not learn from what happened to you? That was super hurtful.
Conveniently forgot.
Did you not learn from what happened to you? The irony.
But it's all, to me, like it's a money grab,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
That was his most viewed video in months.
And I look at
In
this,
months.
and I look at it this way, like honestly, like 80% of people in this country live check to check, right? So what
annoying.
happens is
Every
these
video
people make
is just
decisions
for money.
based on money, which can be very, very scary,
It's
right?
a good
Like,
point.
yeah.
Okay, this whole podcast is just for money then. You see how stupid that argument goes now?
Like, think about it. Like, I mean, honestly, I always think like for me, I don't make decisions based on money because it's fine. I don't worry about it, right? But I'm a better employer. I'm a better employee because my life isn't based on money, right? Like, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to say this is the way it's going to be, and that's just the way it is,
No,
right?
I
I'm
get
not-
it.
I'm
It's
not
like our
even-
vertical, same thing. If a student goes in there and they don't have, if they don't have encumbrances on financials and they can focus on the real meaning they're here. But if they have to worry about financials and the school, then it's a double whammy, and most don't succeed. It's a kind of a mind, but kind of same philosophy.
Well, and when you make money, when you make decisions based on finance and stuff like that, a lot of times you're going to make really, really bad decisions because you're desperate to make money.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not,
And in the creator fund in TikTok, if you have a video that's over
That's
a
a good
minute
point.
and you have over 10,000 followers and you're in the creator fund, you get money based on the views of your video.
So you had to
So
sensationalize them to some extent.
6 million views on something, and people know how to go viral. It's having strong opinions and rage bait and really good sound bites. You and I have talked about this.
Girlfriend, you literally just said that that's what you did with your video. This is so, like, you can't make this shit up. Neuroped's dad, so good to see you. funny story, when I was 4-ish, I decided I wanted to be a Smurf. I went to the guest bath and took the Tidy Bowl out of the tank and poured it over myself. Took weeks before I wasn't blue. Oh my god, you literally blew yourself. That's so hilarious. God, did your mom take pictures, or dad, or any present adult with a camera? And can I please get a copy? I cannot die without seeing some kind of evidence of this. Thank you so much. That's the best super chat I've ever gotten in my life. No offense to everyone else.
Didn't you leave doing news because of that?
I left doing news because it was negative. It was just like,
But I mean, that's what sold, so to speak, and that's
yes, exactly, same thing. So and I think at the end of the day, you know, but people don't want to hear this, but our marriage got better from this. It did not get worse.
No, you're good people, and I want to say that loud. I mean, I don't know Nick as well as I know you, but I have never felt anything from Jen other than authenticity in everything, and I have no choice to feel the same way in the limited time that Nick and I have met. So I just want to put that out there. And it's a shame that in 30 seconds someone can have their whole reputation torn down. But you have recovered, and I do want to get into that in our last several minutes or whatever. And then I also want to talk about the vertical and what you've learned at, because Nick, she's a student of the game, and she's so helpful in our vertical, which is in the proprietary school industry. And there's a lot to learn from this. I feel like even with me and what we do and how we're using social and the authenticity behind it, that type of thing. So I'd love you to comment on both those, the recovery aspect and also what you've learned that could be relevant to our vertical.
I knew as soon as it happened and I was getting beat up for a week and a half, 2 weeks, I knew it would go away, because that's just how social media works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is true. I will say, and that is kind of a fun and comforting thing about the way the internet works, is like, if you ever do find yourself in a shit show somehow, it will pass. It will pass. And I don't wish long-term grief on any of these partner shamers. I literally just want them to recognize what they did. That's literally it. Like, and I've said this before. I say this on like a lot of different lives. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can catch this. The poor ignorant man. They say ignorance is bliss, but I don't think he looks like he's having a good time. Oh man, I moved myself at one point during the stream. Let me center back. There's like a random black patch now. Anyway, yeah, I will say though, for better or for worse, these things do go away. But I've said before in lives, like, I'm willing to forgive so much egregious shit if people just take accountability for it. You know what I mean? And then we can move on. It's just the fact that, like, to this day, she is still refusing to be like, and that was on me, and I caused this. She's still like, everyone else overreacted, and now it's a problem.
And so I think when it's happening, you think that this is going to be your personality forever, and you're going to be known as Blue Toilet Water Girl. And I was known as that, by the way.
Oh yeah, I do need to have a moment of silence for Peanut the Squirrel. That's crazy story, dude.
Way, like, side
Blue
note,
Toilet Water Girl. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh, but it's funny. It's kind of funny.
It's also ironic because I hate Blue Toilet Water, and now, like, that's
well, Lord knows that's true. So there's no question about that.
I had seen a video on TikTok of a girl coming home, and her house was a mess. Her kitchen was a mess, and she had, like, videoed it and was like, my family's no help. And the top comment, which is always, thousands of likes, the top comment was, someone tag Blue Toilet Water Girl.
Really?
That was the top like comment, because that had happened like a week after mine. So this really was like my personality for a while. So one thing I will tell you, it doesn't last forever. The internet is quickly on to the next scandal, right? The next rage-based stuff. I can tell you 4 huge stories that have happened since mine. Where,
just then, yeah.
All of TikTok is now jumping on, this other person.
That's true.
And so I knew this wasn't going to last forever. And secondly, I know that people can recover just based on having a good reputation or putting regular content out there. So people know what content to expect of me. I actually don't talk about work ever in my content. That's not something.
But your content is your work. So I you know what I mean? You get
yeah, but I don't talk about what my job is. I don't give social media tips, which is funny because, like, in this space, I very much talk about TikTok all the time, and I'm always giving tips.
Yes.
If you go to my page, you will not see one video of me giving TikTok tips. That's not what I do.
But that's why you're good at giving the information to people like me.
Because I'm studying
because of that.
Yeah, sure. And so recovery-wise, I just, after being off for 3 days and getting back on it, I was able to disable comments that say the word blue or divorce. I literally, like, you can do that, or you can put in
just put your own keywords in there and then say
your keywords, where if someone comments it, they'll think they commented, but really it doesn't live on the page. So I was able to do that. And secondly, just like move away from it.
Funny that she's so triggered she doesn't even let people say the word blue or divorce in her comment section. Wow, that's so funny.
And not talk about it. One of the mistakes I did make was making too many follow-up videos about it, defending myself. And then I was like, I'm taking this down. This is coming off very desperate, very like, I need to prove myself. What am I trying to prove? Like, I have a great marriage. Who cares if...
And that's kind of Nick's point. It's like, this too will pass. It's like, just,
exactly.
it's fine.
Exactly. So all I did was I just jumped back into my regular content, and it's been great. And it's been fine. And so, you know, that's what I've done. Yes, I'm still getting views on the apology video. People are still coming. And then one thing sweet Nick did was about 2 weeks after the incident, we did a video together on TikTok.
Yeah.
Of him in the bathroom talking about the blue toilet water, just thanking everyone for the support, keeping it really light. And then I was at the very end. You could just like barely hear me, but I'm like, you better not put that in the toilet, like as a joke. Because we want.
Dang it. Oh God. I'll find where we were. But yeah, ain't that just like, she goes right back to, it was a joke. It was just a joke though.
And that's kind of Nick's point. It's like, this too will pass. It's like, just,
exactly.
it's fine.
Exactly. So all I did was I just jumped back into toilet water, just thanking everyone for the support, keeping it really light. And then I was at the very end. You could just like barely hear me, but I'm like, you better not put that in the toilet, like as a joke.
But it's like, it's not a joke. That's the craziest thing is she keeps saying like, but I'm joking. It's joking. That's banter. But you also just said 5 seconds ago, but I do hate blue toilet water. It is a banned word across your platforms, okay? But you're joking when you yelled at him not to put it in? No, you're not. You were never joking. I don't know if you actually know how to joke, quite frankly.
Because we want to be in on the joke. So that's another piece of advice. Be in on the joke. Don't let people know it really will hurt you.
So don't
let people know it will hurt you. No one will ever know that this bothers me. Bans the word divorce and blue toilet water. But I'm unbothered. Like, literally, I'm above this. Like, I don't even care. It's truly ivory cover.
I want to say it back to you, but I want you to say it again because I think it's a really good point of what you just said.
If someone is giving you negative feedback, honestly, about anything, be in on the joke.
That could be social or anything then, right? Really?
Sure. Absolutely. Like, if someone brings something to your attention about yourself, be like, yeah, wow. You know,
that's what comedians do. The really good
You
comedians, they
leverage that, yourself before anyone else gets the
and the
chance
people I
to.
see succeeding on TikTok now is they take those negative comments and they turn it into something. There's a creator named Jeep Jen.
But again, she's not in on the joke because she's still raging and self-victimizing and trying to make herself this like martyr. She's not joking about it. Like, she had to begrudgingly laugh along with the guys when people post on her fashion videos like, love this dress, does it come in blue? Like, she forced her way into laughing at that, but she's not actually making any jokes, nothing at her own expense once.
I love Jeep Jen. She's like probably late 40s, and like a lot of women in their late 40s wear eyeliner like they did in high school, the thick black eyeliner.
Oh, I'm down.
And several people had written on her videos like, take off the black eyeliner, like it's aging you. Instead of her doing a bunch of follow-up videos about how like, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I wear, get off the page, which is what a lot of people do.
Like, and then you go opinion to opinion, and it doesn't go anywhere.
She just got in on it. She's like, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Day one, no black eyeliner. Day two, so she was making a series out of it. She got like a brand deal with CoverGirl. She got thousands and thousands of followers. Now she's like you go to her page, she's in recovery from black eyeliner, and she's like teaching other women
so awesome.
how to give it up. Like, be in on the joke.
I see something with Nick happening, maybe with some black eyeliner, maybe.
No thanks. No thanks.
Well, guys, we are running out of time. I really appreciate this. Nick, I welcome you on the show anytime you want to come on. Jen's always welcome and actually needed. But you are great. I mean, you're great. And I'm just going to say it again. 17 years doesn't happen. Just happen. It takes work. It takes a lot of things. And no amount of comments would ever bring you guys down. It's unfortunate, right, that it's there. And you're a human, so you have no choice but to take it in, depending on your kind of personality trait or how you take those emotions in. But at the end of the day, you guys got a bond that doesn't break. And you did it with the right intention. So I just love hearing about it now. So.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Well, guys, that's our show on the blue water. I want to call it. Can we call it?
So that's our update. I'll give you a quick little brief on her actual TikTok profile. Let me pull that up because she says, she's recovered and she's doing super well for herself right now. So let's go ahead and just pull up her page real quick. So it's just funny to me. She had over 10,000 followers at the time of making the video, but it's everyone else who makes videos for clout and money, apparently. Size 6, 5'3", and all of her stuff is just kind of like fashion stuff. She'll get, you know, a little over 1,000 views per video. This one looks like it kind of popped off a little bit, but like on average, a good few thousand views on each video. So what does she do for work? That's my question. But she never posts about work, which I also was like, I wonder why that is. I don't know. She is a lady who goes shopping a lot. I know that her husband has said he doesn't care about money, but let me tell you, it is a good thing he has it, because she is shopping. I don't know if she ever wears the same outfit twice, quite frankly. We spend a lot of money on clothes. I mean, I guess it's only $10 though, so I don't know. I just read something about Samantha saying someone's trying to eat rocks. I hope you're talking about a chicken. That's good for their digestion. Cimarine, thank you. If there's one phrase that bothers me, it's "it was just a joke," when what they really mean is, you should not be mad at me about this. Understand something. If people didn't laugh, it's not a joke, and it's not funny. Yeah, even Louis C.K., though he doesn't have the best reputation anymore, but still a famous comedian, and look, still hilarious in my opinion. Has one of the some of the funniest bits I've ever heard in my life. But even Louis C.K. said, I feel like it's kind of similar in the same vein. If someone tells you that that you've offended them, you don't get to tell them that you didn't. Right? Kind of the same vein. Like, people were ultimately offended by Jen Lyle's coverage of her husband for a number of reasons. Not only were they offended on his behalf to be getting dragged for trying to be helpful, but people were offended by the potent classism that went into the entire criticism in the first place. Her entire hatred, the whole issue is that truly what this comes down to, Jen did not want to appear poor. Right? That is literally what this entire issue came down to. Her biggest fight in her entire marriage was because she thought that the way her husband was cleaning the toilet made her look like she was not wealthy. And I think that's a fair assessment, considering this is also how she presents herself. I get it, not everybody who is into fashion is necessarily also intent on ensuring people believe that they have wealth, right? This is one of those Venn diagrams where I believe that there is overlap. Jen likes fashion, and it's part of a much wider circle of pretty narcissistic, self-entitled, privileged, bratty behaviors. Okay? Oh, God. This is
that
really
schoolgirl
cringe.
look, but it's not super skanky.
Okay, after the whole finding out that her husband picked her up while she was a teenager and he was 30, this outfit is 10 times creepier. But I do think it's time to start wrapping this up. I have to go pick up my daughter from her field trip. But that's been the updates on Blue Toilet Water Girl. What a crazy update, dude. I was not even expecting it to get that deep. But those are my closing thoughts. Is you literally blew your whole marriage up on social media because you did not like that your husband made you feel like a poor. People rightfully called you out a little bit on that, both for the classism and the partner shaming. And in conclusion, your final great takeaway from all of this is all Emily King's fault. I'm innocent. How dare you ever be mean to me? I have it all figured out. You don't. Basically, just the most predictable type of character. In summary, the Southern man is definitely getting cucked. This woman might be on the autism spectrum. No, don't be rude to autists like that. And I'm on to this, don't worry. And Lauren has a poverty setup. Yeah, don't make fun of us poors. Jackson says, a bit of good news. My date from last week went well, and we're going to meet up this weekend. Thank you for all the help your channel provides. Hell yeah, Jackson. Let's go. If you ever want to, like, get a wing woman, like, if she wants, like, a female reference, I will have her call me, and I'll be like, Jackson is the GOAT. Okay? But yeah, before I go, yeah, let me know if you guys think this is weird. I won't get too into this because I do got to get going, but... So, my daughter goes to a charter school, and she used to go to... I know you weren't trying to rip on anybody on the autism spectrum, Girthy. we're all somewhere on there in this chat. Let's be real. It's a we rism with the tism out here. No, I am poor and autistic. LOL. Gang, for real. But no, she used to go to a private school, and at this Catholic school, they actually had everybody who wanted to be a chaperone complete like this whole training where you have to spend like several hours like learning and basically like agreeing that you won't be a creepy person, and you get background checked and all that stuff. And I felt a lot better about that whole situation. But our new school, they don't do like buses or anything for field trips. They just have parents drive. And I guess like last year when I got picked to be a chaperone, I didn't think much of it. Like, of course I'll drive around another kid. Of course I'm a trustworthy person. But this time I didn't get selected as a chaperone. And this made me like rethink the whole thing, because all you need to do is submit your registration and insurance. No background check. Nothing, no one vetting the driving records. And I'm like, just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, am I overreacting, or am I not about to be fucking caught dead putting my kid in some car with some stranger who I don't know nothing about them? Like, I'm very infrequently a helicopter mom. I'm really not. But I was like, no. And so I messaged the teacher, and she's like, there's really not room for you to join on the field trip. Like, we have a very strict number count, but you can drive your daughter yourself. So I did. I have the means, I have the time, no, like, truly no offense to these other parents, but I will be goddamned if I put my kid in a stranger's car. I'm sorry, no background check, no assessment of the driving record. Like, you could literally be driving my kid around with a warrant to the field trip, and no one on the school board would know. Like, I love this school, but this was the first time that I ever was like, I might go to the parent principal meetings and bring this one up. Like, I guess it's not a major issue if parents always have that option of just driving them if they want, but like, I do feel it would just be ideal to do background checks. Because here's the thing, I brought this up with like a few of my friends, and one of the friends was like, well, don't you think that that would eventually lead to less field trips? And I'm like, well, think about this. If you start demanding background checks for all chaperones, and people either choose not to submit one, or they fail it, aren't you glad you did it? right? Like, I would personally rather my kid have less field trips than be sending my kid into a car with someone with, like, warrants out for their arrest or some shit. Or, like, drunk driving. Like, I don't know how y'all drive, but I'll say this. As the person who drives, I'm very infrequently impressed with other drivers. Right? Oh, okay, wait. Let me respond to Jack. Okay, when I said we're all autistic, and I know we just talked about the whole, you can't just say that's a joke just because you offended someone, but, like, I really truly hope that, like, here's the thing. I'll leave you guys on this. There are a lot of people who are like, everyone's autistic these days, and, like, we know that's not true because of the amount of airplane and train crashes that we still have. Okay. On that note, everybody, I will be live again this Thursday. I haven't reminded you once throughout the stream, but hit like right there, right down below. Hit like on the video. Make sure that you're subbed. Turn on the notification bell so you do not miss this Thursday's stream, as well as all of the upcoming streams, as I am live at least 1 or 2 times every single week. And gonna be putting out some more videos for you. I once again forgot to put out a video right before going live, but I'll do it now. Okay, guys, I will see you guys soon. Oh yeah, don't forget to vote. Did you guys not see my sticker? I did vote. I got it done. Don't worry. We're there. And I hope I was a little bit of a reprieve for anybody with election anxiety today, or some entertainment while you waited in line to vote, perhaps. And to everybody not in the United States right now, congrats on not having to worry about this, but also we are the best country, so it sucks to suck. All right, everybody. I will see you guys on Thursday. Thank you guys so much for another fantastic stream. I hope you enjoyed your update, and I will see y'all soon.